I am black business. Tell me, are you black business? I am black business. Do you support black businesses? Listen, I support black business because I am black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am black business.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support. Where health education is abundant. Where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
This is Dr. Arnold T. Petsworth. He's the owner of Petsworth Vet World. Business was steady, but then an influx of new four-legged friends changed everything. Dr. Petsworth welcomed these new patients. The only problem, more appointments, meant he needed more space. That's when Dr. Petsworth turned to his American Express business card, which offers flexible spending limits that adapt with his business. He used his card to furnish a new exam room, and everyone was happy. Built for Dr. Petsworth's business, built for your business, Amex Business.
How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know, a student, a business entrepreneur, or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turned to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder? Did you destroy their dream, or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete, give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dream by sponsoring them, supporting them, and buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our Black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, and our entrepreneurs. And you can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to do? Sit on the sideline and watch our students in high school be leaders, miss out on their dreams from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. The Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of Black business in the history of the world.
Phenomenal Tanya T. Wise, who is here from the great state of Maryland. Tanya, welcome and thank you for being with us today. Can you indulge our audience a little bit and tell them just a little bit more about who you are and what it is that you do?
Well, I love being able to talk to people and have a magnetic attitude, being able to just show them. So I always like to say, level up is Coach at Tanya T. Wise here.
So can you tell our audience, just give them a teaser about what your presentation will be about?
So my philosophy is that we should all be living our dream life. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about how you start living your dream life. What are some of the things that you thought about in your childhood that you just kind of let go and dormant?
Wow.
And I want to reignite that and just give you some pointers and some tips, some tools, some strategies to be able to start living your best life now. And guess what, Akwanda? And leave an inheritance for your legacy.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I know that's resonating with a lot of people. I've heard that you have a dynamic coaching program. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So our coaching program help people that have the lack of time, that lack strategies, and lack the confidence to go after their dream life. So we help them implement tools, we help them implement strategies, as well as give them resources so that they can live their best life now and leave that inheritance.
Wow. Oh, I love that. I love the leave the inheritance part. Listen, you are dropping some major nuggets, and I know a lot of what you're saying is resonating with a lot of people, but I think we're all curious. How did you even make this transition into the speaking and coaching arena? What's the story behind this?
So I started out in finance, and I realized that a lot of people don't necessarily go after their dream life because of the lack of finances or the education behind finances. But it wasn't until I lost my firstborn, my only son, that life changed for me. And where I was going after it all, living the corporate life, hit my 6-figure income and living in my dream house with my dream man, driving my dream car. I nearly lost it all when I lost my son. And so I realized it only takes one financial catastrophe that can change your entire life. That's what made me start All New Beginnings. Because no matter what's going on in life, there's a new beginning. And because of that, we develop a program called Wise Minded. My little slogan is, don't just dream it, let's live it.
If they want to connect with you or work with you, what is the best ways for them to be able to do that?
Well, for my social media guru, you can connect with me on every single social media platform as Tanya T. Wise.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good afternoon, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Charles Kithcart of African Diaspora Maritime. I'm your business moderator this afternoon on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We've had speakers from London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, North Carolina, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our keynote speaker is Ivy Edwards. Ivy Edwards is the director of the marketing at KEI Marketing and Consulting. She is a marketing professional with expertise in business development, marketing strategies, event management, and branding. She helps clients turn money taking into money-making events. I present you Ivy Edwards.
Well, good afternoon, Mr. Charles. How are you? And it's pronounced Evie.
Evie Edwards.
Yes.
Evie Edwards Evans.
Correct.
I love it. Welcome to the Black Business Network. It's a fabulous time, and we're glad to have you.
Well, thank you for being my moderator. I'm looking forward to the next 45 minutes with you and interacting and exchange of ideas of what we do.
So we're going to kick it off with just the basic. Just tell us, what does KEI Marketing and Consulting do?
Okay. Well, KEI stands for Custom Events International. And the international is because we have done events and projects outside of the United States, but primarily we are based here in the United States in Lanham, Maryland. Currently, I am in Florida, in Gainesville, Florida, but the company is based in Maryland. We are a consulting and marketing firm, so we have a kind of a dual purpose. In terms of the marketing, I'm going to start with the consulting first. Our consulting, we have several consultants with a combined 50, 60 years experience in the world of infrastructure. And one of the things that this is actually our specialty is infrastructure. And our consultants, we are a boutique marketing firm. However, our client base are minority firms. And what we do as a consultant, we matchmake them. We're kind of like a next level matchmaking firm. We matchmake them with corporate companies that has initiatives to hire diversity or minority firms. Okay, and so that's where I come in with the marketing portion. I create the events, I create the communication, and everything from a communication standpoint to make these events possible.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting contracts for minority businesses. What are your ideal clients?
Our ideal clients are minority firms, preferably, that have a background or a business structure in infrastructure or construction. those clients and essentially our other client base are large corporate firms, our Fortune 500 global construction companies such as Dragados, Siemens, AECOM, Skanska, Kiewit, Turner Construction. We work with these large firms and we connect them with the mom and pop businesses. And we have been doing this for about 7-8 years now. We've generated helped generate millions of dollars in contracts for these businesses. And that's those are our ideal clients are again Black-owned companies. Those are that are in the infrastructure space.
Okay. We know we have the pit bull in the background, but we're going to get over that. That's no problem.
Okay.
I'm understanding. So
we have someone here.
No problem. But listen, we understand you're at home. We're going to have a few little things like that. We're going to get this audience. Maybe we'll put a pit bull in the next room in the future. Now, you're in the construction. You're getting the construction people to work with you. So those are your ideal clients, are really people that are in the construction field or, okay.
Yes. Let me add another fold. This I forgot to mention. Prior to getting into construction, I also worked in the fashion industry. So I used to produce major fashion shows in the DMV area as a former custom tailor. So not only do I do the corporate events, but I also do the red carpet events, the extravagant parties and things of that nature. So there is a bit of flexibility in terms of the types of events that we do, but our main focus here in 2023 are capstone events, conferences, seminars, everything business related.
Understood. So do you have any events coming up?
Actually, we do. One of the events, the next event is during the Congressional Black Caucus. We are negotiating for two of our clients, one with a industry in electric vehicles, and the other, their industry are modular homes. So we're negotiating to have them at the expo at the Congressional Black Caucus because they're looking to bring on African American students that are interested in STEM. And so that's what we're focusing on right now. The Congressional Black Caucus, for those of you that are not familiar, it is hands down one of the best events that you can go through that's solely focused on the Black community in every aspect, in every industry. There you have the opportunity to meet your senators, your Congress, all your mayors, all of the Black, the entire gamut of your politicians in Black America are normally at the Congressional Black Caucus every year. It is an excellent opportunity for business owners, even small, because they have the marketplace that's there. And if you go to CBCF and look at the Congressional Black Caucus, you'll see just all of the everything that's available to not just Black businesses, but people that are interested in what's happening in politics worldwide or nationwide.
Sure.
So we will have a presence there at the Congressional Black Caucus. In the future, we're hosting an event in New York City at Columbia University, and that's our next conference.
Fabulous. So when you get involved with, this is obviously advice in and of itself. Get plugged in with the Congressional Black Caucus, and that will increase your network exponentially. Do you have any other advice that you would give to a boutique marketing firm such as yourself?
In terms of, yes, I do. I have a lot of advice for boutique companies. I personally have been in business for a little over 10 years. And I started out just me as a business owner. And I contract a lot of my staff. But one thing that you would not know about me is that I'm a lone wolf with the company that I ran back in my early days, and that is because although it was just myself and maybe a handful of other persons that assisted me, the events that we did, they were stellar events in terms of the presentation, the professionalism. And so regardless of what industry you're in, always act as though you are the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, because that's who you're essentially competing with from a business perspective. And also, oftentimes, a lot of the opportunities that I received, I got them because I was willing to work, oftentimes pro bono. I volunteered my services to various organizations that were near and dear to my heart, and it resulted in me actually getting contracts and for other opportunities. So I keep my eyes and ears open, and too much whom is given, much is required, and I often extend myself. I partner with other businesses, and I highly encourage that, and I do that because I'm a sole person. So I like to partner with other minority businesses, which has been very strategic, very effective in my line of work, particularly in the infrastructure world. We work in various different industries. Some of our clients are very diverse right now. We have clients that have a company that blows up bridges they do maritime diving, looking for sunken ships or just anything that's underwater construction. We have a company that owns a rail company, mental health provider, and substance abuse for construction workers. We work with a safety company as well. So the bottom line, the moral of the story is be diverse in your business.
Okay. No, I that's really great advice. And what I heard that was critical is that you can hire subcontractors if you have a small core group that's your company. You don't have to have the burden of a large payroll. You can subcontract as needed.
Yes. That's been very beneficial for us as a company.
I understand that very clearly. Some people think you have to have 100 employees to start a business, and you don't. You can start out with yourself and subcontract it, and then build up just to an office staff and hire people out. So how can a company become a client of yours? How do you get your clients, and how can they get to you?
Well, interestingly, all of our clients have been word of mouth and referrals, but we are open to, we do have a vetting process, and for our infrastructure clients, you have to be certified or have your credentials to be certified, and that is because the bulk of what we do is it does require certification for these projects. One of our main projects is the Hudson. It's the highest funded project ever, and that's the Hudson Tunnel. And so one of our current goals is to get as many Black-owned companies on that project as possible. But yes, you do have to be vetted. I'm sorry, not vetted, but certified in your state where you are. We do have companies as far as California, Chicago, Texas. It doesn't matter where your company is based, but if you can perform on a particular project, we can help you still get that project.
Absolutely. And I want to amplify on being qualified. There's so many things that we've seen in the news lately where we hear that buildings are collapsing, or the situation with the submarine, the submersible.
Yep.
You have to have certification and work within the guidelines and be able to do the job that you're purporting to do. And once you're qualified and capable, the world opens up to you, especially if we can get a hold of people like you that promote and expand opportunities. But once we get those opportunities, produce.
That's true. And what a lot of companies don't realize is that there are also opportunities outside of the United States, in other countries that don't have the capacity that the companies here in the United States has. And, considering other countries for your business would be an ideal situation if you're looking to expand revenue, expand your client base. The world is an oyster. So that's why we're, Custom Events International. We are not just here in the United States also, although this is the bulk of what we do, but there are a lot of opportunities outside the United States.
Now, not to scare people off, but once somebody, let's say a company applies for a contract, they get a contract, are they getting upfront resources in order to move over there and to set up shop? How does that look in just a broad stroke picture? They don't have to pay for getting over there, or do they?
Well, yeah, of course there are expenses that can be incurred, but that can be offset through governmental programs. And I thank you for mentioning that, because one of the government agencies that we work with is the MBDA, which was recently codified by the federal government. The MBDA is the Minority Development Business Association, and we work closely with the MBDA to help our clients get certified.
Understand.
It is a tedious project. Anything working with the federal government is a long process. So, and also one of the things that some companies don't realize is that you have to have operating capital going into any contracts that you have with the federal government. One of the companies that I recently worked with was Black and Global Business Network, and they've also been featured on this network. And I love talking about this company because they specialize in helping Black-owned businesses do business outside of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just a wonderful company. And again, it's Black and Global Business Network, and I always give them a shout out when I'm here.
So it almost sounds like there needs to be something posted on someone's website that is a 10-step process to get to that government project or overseas project. Do you have something like that, or could you create something like that people could sort of look at and say, this is the steps?
Well, no, that's not something that my company does, but there's a plethora of companies and websites that do provide that information. And the reason why is because it also depends on your industry, not just your industry, but your financial capacity for certain projects. And, like you said previously, all of our clients are assigned, they're through referrals. And that is such a blessing for us because, we have not needed to go out and recruit for companies. Companies are referred to us because of the access that we help provide to them.
Understood.
With government agencies, with these large firms. And one of the things that we have created from a marketing standpoint, we created a program called Build America. And Build America is a platform that was kind of embraced by Congressman Donald Payne. He's out of New Jersey, he's a congressman from New Jersey. He's also the chairman of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. And he has just been a blessing, not just to our company, but so many others regarding Build America. So we've been doing the platform for, I guess, about 6-7 years now. Each platform has become more and more powerful every year. They're more strategic now. They went from just holding conferences at the Rayburn Building to more recently holding it at New Jersey Institute of Technology in New Jersey. And we brought, along with the assistance of Congressman Payne, we brought 4 of the largest entities in New York, the largest infrastructure. We had the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey. We had the New York Building Congress, and 2 other agencies. So if a company was interested in becoming a client, I would recommend that they go to my website, which is keimarketing.com, and putting your information in the contact us, and I would reach out to them and see what they're and do the vetting process from there to find out where they are in terms of their business.
Great.
And that was a roundabout way of answering your question.
Oh, this is important. This is important. We need to hear detailed answers, and people are going to act on this. Now, with the Hudson Project, how many years is this project going to last?
Which one?
The Hudson Project.
That will extend beyond your and me lifetime.
Wow.
Yes, that is a $1 trillion project that was approved by the current administration. And I say that a lifetime because if you think about it, the Hudson Tunnel in New York, it's more than 100 years old.
Yep.
That tunnel, if anything were to happen to that tunnel, it would be catastrophic for the entire country. Because everything that comes through the United States, New York is the Mecca. It would literally shut down our ability to do business and globally. And a lot of people, even I didn't realize that until I saw the ramifications of what would happen from a financial standpoint if the Hudson Tunnel project were not.
So she's talking about the Hudson Tunnel project. And what we've probably heard if we're watching the news is that a lot of infrastructure within the United States of America is aging. And if people are looking for businesses to get into, we've got an extraordinary problem with the infrastructure in the United States of America. Of course, the East Coast is older than the West Coast, and you can look and you'll hear the government and President Biden, all of the chiefs of the different departments talk about the infrastructure. We've probably heard about some of the bridges that have collapsed in recent memory. So these are huge business opportunities that the rebuilding and refurbishing the old and aging infrastructure of America is, as she mentioned with the Hudson project, it's $1 trillion project. So they're going to, as they refurbish it, they have to sort of turn around, finish the tunnel and go right back to the beginning of it and do it again and do more. I used to live in California, and they used to paint the Golden Gate Bridge continuously. It's a perpetual project. They start from one end and start painting and put on the marine paint. And as soon as they get to the end of it, they go to the other side and paint that. And they go through the undercarriage of the bridge and paint that to keep it going. I think we've also heard about some major collapses that have happened in the United States. So if you're out there and you're wondering what kind of business to get into, please take a look at her website. Now, she mentioned it. I've got it. I'll say it again, but we've got to start looking at these major corporate projects and big government contracts. The process to get certified for it could seem tedious and arduous. So whatever business that you're in, you probably want to keep doing that business and learn that business while you're applying and learning and getting certified for these big businesses. Now, I heard her talk about going overseas. My sort of new advice would be, if you're a new company, get the local contract, build up your resume, build up your experience, and then as you explore going overseas, you can study what the particulars are of certain countries. And once you get experience under your belt, you'll be able to transfer. And again, you don't have to take a huge amount of the labor force with you. You could probably hire from the locals there, bring your experts, and then maintain projects that you're doing in the United States and simultaneously have 2 or 3 projects going at the same time. The other thing that was interesting is that she mentioned events. Lanham, Maryland is very close to Washington, D.C. So in D.C., with all of the embassies and the art galleries and museums, there's a number of VIP people in DC all the time. So there's a lot of events to go to. And I'm not too far. I'm up in Baltimore. I'm currently here right now in Annapolis. But we go to those events all the time. And that is a very good place to make your business connections. She also mentioned the Congressional Black Caucus. And if you can plug into the Congressional Black Caucus, you'll realize that the opportunities there are so vast that you probably won't need help to succeed. You can just get with the Congressional Black Caucus and learn something. So they're outstanding. I go down to DC occasionally. It is very crowded down there, but I was there for a few events with the Congressional Black Caucus, and they were extraordinary. So you've got to bring a big bag and collect all the flyers and brochures and really study these things out before you go. Also, you don't have to wait for the Congressional Black Caucus. You could probably just get online with the Congressional Black Caucus and see what they offer and see what companies and what location you happen to be in. And they will self-direct you, and you can sort of find out what you need to do. It is extraordinary with these large construction companies that they are also will hire subcontractors within their project, and they'll be the main supervisor of the project. So a lot of the companies, in particular, I'll talk about Baltimore, they were going through and tearing down some of the dilapidated houses in the neighborhoods. So they had to identify the houses, and that was government regulated. But as they identified the houses, they were able to hire lots of so-called minority women and minority businesses to get the contracts, demolish the house, refurbish the house, and that's going on all over America because our infrastructure, the housing included, is becoming decrepit. So this is something extraordinary to get involved in. Heavy equipment is also one of the things that people do. So Ingersoll Rand is one of these big heavy equipment companies, and they rent out these heavy equipments and the bobcats and the tractors and the big scoopers and the earth movers and all that kind of stuff. So I suppose we all see these things when we were little kids, but this is how everything gets built in this country. And construction is never going to stop. The other thing is there's an inspecting realm to these jobs where you can be certified to become an inspector. And now you're not doing the rigorous work, but you're coming through, you get your certifications, and you learn the requirements of the buildings and structures that people are making, and then you can go through and inspect. I heard a statistic a few years ago, and it shocked me that there were 600 water main breaks in America per day. And so when you have that level of breakage, then you've got the roads that need to be patched and fixed, the water mains need to be patched, and then there's the damage that's done from the break itself. So when we're looking at a lot of these problems, there are great opportunities to do something. Evie, we've got you back.
Yes.
Great.
Right.
I just did a little bit of a review of the things that you were mentioning.
Okay.
Talked about the Hudson Project, the idea that the infrastructure in America is deteriorating. And
All around the country.
All around the country. So people are looking at jobs that they can do, and it's like, you guys, look at what's needed and understand these are big numbers. I was just saying, I read that there's something like 600 water main breaks every day in the United States.
And so what's compounding this is global climate, the climate changes as well. And one of the other phenomenons about what's happening with infrastructure throughout the country is that our state level government heads are dismantling the rights of protection for minority privileges. And so we are in a race against the clock now. As long as we have this administration in play, we know that we can get infrastructure projects done. And also, we know that we can get fair and equitable distribution of opportunities for these, for minority businesses, not just Black-owned businesses, but women-owned and other minorities. So, we are in a race against the clock to not only get access to these projects, but to identify as many Black-owned companies that can qualify. If they're not able to qualify, what can we do to help? Be it financing. If they don't have financing, what can we do to help? C, operational organization. Many companies don't have an organizational structure set up in their company to effectively manage these projects. And lastly, I think I hit all cylinders with that. So, that's what, as a company, that is one of the things that, drive what I do and drive what we do so passionately, because we want to help other businesses. We want to help them succeed, and we want to give them opportunities to create legacy companies for whatever industry that they're in. And infrastructure is kind of like funeral homes. You're always going to be in business because you're always going to need construction of some type. And then, with climate changing, I'm here in Florida, notorious for hurricanes. We were a victim of hurricane damage. My mom's house was destroyed in 2017 by the hurricane. And what's worse is that insurance companies are fleeing. So, we are in a win-win situation right now with the Biden administration being so laser focused on getting these projects funded and underway. We have a wonderful resource and a wonderful partner with MBDA to help minority companies, take advantage of these opportunities. And, so we're just here. We're here to help. We're here to get you across the finish line, get you to the finish line, groom you for the finish line, make you look good doing it. And not only that, but create events, create situations that put you in the room with not just people on the project, but decision makers, check writers. And, that's where we specialize in.
Something, I love this business. It sounded, when I first heard of this and was reading about it, it sounded nebulous and so big, but now you've refined it and honed it down, and it's something that people can get into, and we need to start taking advantage of what the world needs. It's not what we think. Sometimes I hear people that say they're going to get into a particular business, and it's like, let's expand our horizons here because there are multiple and many businesses to get involved in. So this is good. So while you were gone, I talked about a lot of different things that what you're doing touches on, and the infrastructure, the idea of building up a resume, and then maybe you can be a subcontractor on specific things, and that way you don't have to feel like you're the supervisor running the whole project. You can just be charged with doing specific things, and that will build up your competency. Can you speak on that one? You can start out small.
Absolutely. And most companies do. They don't have the past performance or the financial capacity to be awarded as a prime on a particular contract. So most of the companies that we do work with, they are subprimes on these contracts or projects, and that is a heck of a lot less cumbersome than being a prime. I mean, being a prime is a big deal on many of these billion-dollar projects now.
Right. And the other thing while I was sort of talking is it felt to me like you get your experience as a subcontractor, and then little by little build it up and take on more. And then after you've gotten that experience, then you can look abroad because you can run two things at the same time.
Bingo. You're right on point. Right on point. And if you have your certification and if you have a past performance, you can go everywhere with that. One of the other things about what we're doing in the infrastructure world, there are a lot other avenues that can be attached. I mean, this is not just for construction. I mean, you have opportunities for construction accounting, construction law. There are a lot of there's a high suicide rate associated with construction. Not sure why, but we're working with a company that is targeting the construction industry for mental health and substance abuse for workers. We also have a company that we partner with that makes sure that companies get the safety training that they need and the safety certifications. So we're kind of all areas, in anything that you can think of with a company to make sure that you are successful. And in that industry, that's where we come in.
I like that answer. Now, let's just touch on the high rate of substance abuse. These are tough jobs. So
Yes.
the actual worker is out there, whether it's hot or sun or cold or rainy or windy, or there's fall or the spring, dead of winter. So there, when you have these kind of workers, you really have to manage them and manage their fatigue level and make sure that the same old thinking of, well, let's have a few beers after work, maybe we change it and say, have a good meal and get to bed and get your rest so you're not straining on your fatigue and you don't properly manage yourself. So if you're managing people, I mean, that's the biggest expense for any business is the people, because they are going to make you or break you. And if you watch them and encourage them and sort of monitor that, you can really do well. So I've seen that. I've heard about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I want to kind of take an opportunity to curtail what you just said and segue it twofold. And if everyone pays attention to, the news, that Governor Abbott out of Texas created a bill that prevents employers from allowing their construction workers or outside workers to take a water break. They actually created a bill to prevent them from requiring that they get hydrated while out in the blazing hot sun working. And so I mention that in terms of what you're saying, because I want to pivot just a moment to, because of this platform and the people watching, the importance of voting, state level voting. And your state that you are in, that's way more important than, a lot of the other, from the governor down to your mayor, because they make direct decisions that affect your lives individually. And it's just, I just want to throw that out there, the importance of voting in 2024. We have a lot at stake, and not just in the world of infrastructure, but, our rights are being taken away from us. And from affirmative action here in Florida, it's amazing what's happening. So I just want to tell everybody to go out and vote.
well, we live in a society with competing ideologies, and you can run into many people that are fair-minded and say, I'm open to give you an opportunity and work with you. And you can certainly run into people that say, no, I'm sick of you and I don't want to deal with you. So one of the things we have to do is be sensitive to that and understand that leave that person alone that doesn't want to deal with you.
That is true.
And I hope that the people in Texas and the workers around America can organize themselves to the point where they say, we're going to take care of ourselves, look out for each other, and not let the excuse be put out that they're abusing the water break and turning it into a brunch. And, that's not the case. These guys are, I mean, look at all the structures and buildings. And if you look across at China, they perpetually have buildings that collapse while under construction, or simply collapse. And this morning, a gymnasium collapsed on a girls' volleyball group, and 15 of these young innocent lives are gone, and they're searching around for more. This is outrageous. But if the construction, the person that's actually doing the work is taken good care of, and the person who's the owner operator of these businesses really looks to look out for people, it's a win for everybody.
Okay. Wow. Prime example. I hadn't heard about that.
Right. So now listen, Evie.
Sure.
We are running out of time, but this was an extraordinarily important interview, because I believe people sort of don't understand how much money is out there with what you're saying.
It's a lot.
Give the website one more time.
My website is keimarketing.com. And you can reach me directly at my business number is 301. That's the area code 531-5672. I am the Director of Operations and Marketing for KEI. We'd love to help you, your business, in whatever capacity that we can. And thank you for having me. And thank you to Dr. Eric Kelly for the opportunity. And Charles, it has been my esteemed pleasure being here with you and having you as a interviewer here.
Well, we really appreciate you. You know, they have the catchphrase that genius is common. And when we say that, we are counterbalancing the negative things that we see in the mainstream media. And we would think that everyone is a buffoon. But here we are, person after person that is bright, capable, making it happen. And our young people need to see you as well as the adult crowd. So it was an honor to speak with you because it's heartening for us because we're inundated with the negative and we don't know that there's so many people that are, and then sometimes we think it ourselves like, wow, I don't know that there's people that are capable. So here we go again. Genius is coming. Thank you for coming. I'll see you on the other side.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. So you heard it, folks. Take a look at her website. Learn these things. Understand that we have the ability to reach out well beyond the jobs that we have, that we seem to be flooding into. You know, there's, in a comfortable way, we see a lot of African Americans in the delivery jobs working for Amazon. And then there's a complaint that these are low paying jobs, but you're high working jobs, a lot of energy output. So learn about these jobs, learn about these other opportunities, and see what you can do with yourself to move up the food chain financially with more opportunities. And I believe that if we get more opportunities in the African American community, we can start to build back what we say we lost and what we saw we lost. We've all seen Greenwood. We talk about Black Wall Street, but what Ms. Edwards-Evans is talking about is really creating macroeconomics. These are big contracts. These are long-term jobs, and these aren't things that you're just going to lose overnight. This isn't, you get in, you're working for a few months, you get a mortgage, and things fall apart. These are long-term. That Hudson Pop project is going to outlive us. So
we call them legacy contracts.
These are legacy contracts. I mentioned about the Golden Gate Bridge, where they paint it from one side to the other, go to the other side, paint it on the way back. It never stops because they have to continually maintain and maintenance the Golden Gate Bridge. And so when you get into these kind of things, you're not going to be laid off. There's not going to be a work stoppage. There's not going to be a slowdown for whatever. That thing's not going to stop. No, they won't stop. So,
sure.
So we'll just chit chat a little bit more. I think that they're going to come and get us in a little bit, but we're thrilled because when we heard the presidents talking about the infrastructure that needs to be rebuilt in America, sometimes it sounds so nebulous, we don't know how to get into it. But now you've sort of created that pathway. And we also hear about minority contractors, women and minorities saying, we don't know how to get in. But here it is, clear pathway to get involved.
And, you know, if someone wants to know more about, you mentioned to me, asked me earlier if I could recommend websites or resources. I do have resources. I do have that. But so if someone were to reach out to me, yes, I could help them with that. But it's just not something that we do as a provide as a company, you know, as a service line. But I'd be more than happy to help in any way I can in terms of accessing resources.
And we really are appreciative of this in your time. Mm-hmm. I think that there's a lot of people who see these big, we drive past big construction projects all the time on the highway, and they don't, you just look at them and you wonder, well, how do you even get involved in something like that? So you've done it for us. You've made it something that we can understand. And I'm hoping that as we start to diversify more, that our young people will be mentored into these kinds of projects, as opposed to thinking that the first thing that they're up for is a low-wage, non-fulfilling project, and that's not the case.
That's true. And, the good old real estate market in terms of buying land, that is something that is taking root. I have seen. And one of our other clients is a business that creates modular homes, or the container homes for the affordable, in terms of affordable housing. And so that could be another area of interest that African Americans can look at, because that is a developing economy, and it's a developing business that is long lasting. The modular homes, the container homes are not expensive. You buy land at a relatively good rate. You can build a community. That's one of the reasons that I am actually here in Florida.
Okay, so now we've got a hard stop.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, thank you very much.
Okay.
Genius is common. You've proven it. I'll see you on the other side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Did you know that approximately 333.34 million businesses exist today, according to a report from 2021? And you may be one of those businesses, or maybe you're not in the business market yet, but you're aspiring to be a business owner. Well, guess what? you're in the right place at the right time. Because let's face it, everything is about timing and opportunity. Hi, my name is Dr. Lotus Richey, and I'm the CEO and founder of the Lotus Richey Coaching and Consulting LLC, along with the Lotus Richey Ignite Show. 15 minutes of success with Dr. Lotus Richey, as well as books to boom your business and bring who you are. And today, I want to bring this amazing message to you about the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics. See, the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics is designed to help people just like you, that's right, that look like me, to take their business to the next level. Not just in your front yard or your backyard, but globally. The Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics is designed not to just help you survive, but to help you thrive. So join us today as we come together with businesses all around the world to support our students, our children, our young teens, our young entrepreneurs. What we do is we come together to help raise funds for students who are aspiring to be business entrepreneurs, who are aspiring and who are thriving in college. We endow them with a wonderful opportunity to gain scholarship of either a laptop or several thousands of dollars. And we invite you to help be a contributor to this amazing opportunity to help someone that looks just like you. So join us today at our website and let us connect with you and help you ignite and take flight in every area of your life on the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics. I'll see you on the other side.
Attention all entrepreneurs and companies. Are you looking for reliable and efficient virtual assistants and back office support to help you manage your business tasks? Look no further than Superwoman Business Services. Our team of virtual assistants provides a full range of administrative support services, including operations management, social media marketing, and much more. We also offer website design services to help you create a professional online presence that reflects your unique brand. In addition to administrative support and website design, we offer business development and structuring services to help you grow your business and achieve your goals. We'll work closely with you to identify areas of improvement and develop a customized plan to help you reach your full potential. At Superwoman Business Services, we understand that running a business can be overwhelming and time-consuming. That's why we're here to help you fly high and achieve success. Our virtual assistants are highly skilled, experienced, and dedicated to providing you with the support you need to thrive. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights. Let us help you become the superhero entrepreneur you are meant to be. Contact Superwoman Business Services today to learn more about our back office support services. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights.
Hello, this is Israel, and I am CEO of Daydreams Interactive and author of Princess Planet. So, genius is common, and as a kid, I loved to daydream. Even as an adult, I loved to daydream. And when my daughter became 6 and loved princess characters, but we just could not find the diversity that showed her, we created our own characters. So, for instance, you have Princess Nulu right here. Princess Nulu is from Uganda, and her genius is that she loves to take care of animals. She can actually even listen and hear what they say. And then we have Princess Isabella right here. Princess Isabella, she's from Cuba, and her genius is biochemistry. One day she hopes to eliminate disease. Then we have Princess Nia right here, And Princess Nia is based off of my daughter. And she wants to be the greatest dancer alive. So that's her genius. So what's your genius? My genius is my imagination. Genius is common.
Hello, my name is Kiasi Helm and I'm 14 years old. I think my genius would probably have to be setting goals and achieving them. I say this because ever since I was young, I always wanted to be an author, and at age 11, I ended up achieving this. But not only did I end up becoming an author, I ended up becoming a public speaker, a publisher, a business owner, all these great things. The name of my business is Written by Kids Publishing Company. I decided to start this company because I thought it was important for me to help kids my age express themselves through literacy and just achieve their own goals. Because to me, achieving goals is the best thing in the world to feel. It's you just achieving things and aspirations that you set for yourself. And I know that everybody is capable of this because even if you don't end up achieving the goal, you still tried your best, and that's the most important thing. And everybody is capable of this because genius is common. Thank you.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America, and my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million+ women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.
How you doing? I'm Rodney Allen Rippey. Yeah, the child actor. Well, now, leading man. Some of you might remember back in the day, the Harlem Globetrotters popcorn machine. Remember that? Well, it was a Saturday morning special that would come on, and I was there with Geese and Tex and Meadowlark Lemon. Remember the show? Well, I had a great time. And I have to say a huge, huge thank you to all my fans out there. Thank you for all the years of support. I went on from the entertainment industry. I started getting into producing and directing. And now, hey, here I am. I'm a studio executive here in Burbank, California at 2526 Studios. I have to say, it's been pretty good, but the best is yet to come. Please stay encouraged. Keep reaching for your dreams and never forget that genius is common. Remember that.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support. Where health education is abundant. Where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
I was born in a little village on the island of Haiti. Many deadly diseases pounded me. It is as if they were on a mission to end my existence on this earth. I refused to give up. In 1983, I left Haiti and came to the United States of America. And I came with $5, 2 shirts. I didn't speak in English. I came to Atlanta. I got a job. I was a doorman. I was a doorman with a dream. What I used to come on stage. I'd rehearse this moment that I'm standing in front of you. That's the power of a dream. Maybe today is the day you begin acting as if you already have it. And then step out with full force. Take a risk. No condition is permanent. Don't let your situation distract you. You are chosen. You are called. You are born for a purpose in this life.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good evening, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Charles Kithcart of African Diaspora Maritime. I'm your moderator for this evening on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, North Carolina, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing this business knowledge. Our keynote speaker tonight is Timmy Young. Now, we had a little technical difficulty on my side, and I lost Timmy's bio. But we're going to bring Timmy on and say hi to him, and I'm going to prompt him. Timmy, how are you?
I'm doing just great. How are you doing?
Thank you for coming. We're thrilled to have you. I was here looking at your bio, and then my email's all locked up, and I can't open them. So we want you to start out and tell us about yourself. And I think you're going to be doing a solo, and we know. So introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself. and then I'll come back after you give your presentation. And as we know, genius is common. I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Timmy Young. I'm the founder of the Black Wall Street Private Group, located here in Oklahoma. Now, Tulsa, Oklahoma, the original Greenwood, is just about 90 minutes from here. I'm a school teacher. I am also I'm married. I have children and grandchildren. I have a business. I'm a business owner as well as a school teacher. And, you know, I love the commercials that say it very clearly. I wake up as a Black business and I go to sleep as a Black business. And so as we promote, you know, what we do in America today, I want to just share with you a couple of things that I'm working with. And it's really wonderful to have this platform and to be able to share information with one another. And everything about the Black Wall Street Private Group is all about unity. It's all about bringing us together and sharing with one another, knowing that we are much more powerful together than we are apart. Now, a little bit more about me is that, you know, I've had some experience through being with large groups of people, working with large groups of people all the time, from, you know, being in, you know, college football to the United States military and other groups, and just always being around people. And I realized the power that we have when we come together. Whenever I was going through basic training, I just remember how much, you know, things seemed so impossible to do. But whenever, you know, it was all pointed out and everyone took care of their individual assignments and what we could accomplish together, that was so wonderful. And so as we are here today in 2023, knowing we're going to an election next year, and Miss Ivy Edwards, Evie Edwards Evans was just sharing how the importance of voting. See, when we put our numbers together, when we vote, you know, we make a big difference. As we know that today, the legislation is always coming after, you know, the Black vote, and they come in to either take it away or try to get it from us. But we need to make them, have them come to us and tell us what, you know, they're willing to do with us as we come together. So as we come together as a group under one umbrella, under the Black Wall Street title, under the Black Wall Street name, we all unify. Now, one of the strategies that we use, now we have 3 strategies that we use within the Black Wall Street Private Group. One of the strategies is called 10 to the 7th power. That's where 10 people will get 10 people who get 10 people. And you do that 7 times, you have 10 million people. In other words, it does not take a long period of time for us to be able to put people together, to bring us together, and we come together and have be able to make a stand, so to speak, a powerful stand as we stand together. The way things were done, you know, and it's well documented that after slavery, whenever the Black folks were freed, they went and found their families, and they also started businesses, and they started moving their money within their communities. And so once they did that, it built up so much in such a quick period of time. And then we sent many people to Congress to represent us, you know, there in Washington, D.C. Once that was recognized, that how powerful we were, there are laws that came out, you know, after we ended up going through a Reconstruction. And so everything was almost on a beat down. But we're going to fast forward, you know, 150 plus years. And here we are today, knowing that we have an opportunity to come together and to work together. And so one of the community partners within the Black Wall Street Private Group is called the I'm Awake movement. The I'm Awake movement is a movement that's all about unifying our people to come together, to work together, to put our money together. Okay, we have a system that's in place that will help everyone be able to accomplish their financial goals, for one thing. But we need to know what we need to do. And so, you know, the goals of coming together, you know, number one thing that we have to do, goal and objective of the Black Wall Street Private Group, is to help transform the mindset of our people. How do we transform the mindset of our people? Well, we have to educate. Okay. And one of the most important things that we can educate with is financial literacy. We need to understand how money works, how money is supposed to work for us. Mr. Wonderful said that his money are little soldiers, and he commands his little soldiers to go out and capture more little soldiers. And as we come together and unify as a people, we are putting soldiers together. We are now able to do things in our communities. There's many communities all across America that are just really doing well. There's many Black businesses all across. The unfortunate part is that, as quoted by Dr. George Fraser, who said, we're doing well, but we don't know each other. We are a disconnected people. Well, in order for us to get where we need to get in this unification, okay, we must unify. And what do we got to do to unify? We got to start talking. We must start talking to one another. And as we do that within our communities, okay, when we start talking within our communities with one another, unifying and under one title, again, the Black Wall Street Private Group is we're leading the way, but we're bringing networks together so we can move forward. And as we understand that we need to learn how to trust one another, we have to restore the love, trust, the respect, and honor within our communities. That's another goal that we have within the Black Wall Street Private Group. And so as we take our churches, our civic groups, our ball teams, so to speak, and all the different the people under the shade tree, we have to bring all of us together with the understanding that we can make it together. We're not going to be able to make it apart. It is very difficult as right now as it is in this world, but in a fight against one another. And, our real enemy is not someone who looks like us. What we must understand is that we must reach out. For those of us, if you're on this call, that means that you understand. If you can hear my voice right now, then you obviously are a person who is interested in working with others. You're a person who understands that the plight that we're dealing with. But unifying in all ways is what we need to do. We have families that have been torn apart for many years. Some families, my family had an issue from the 1900s, from the turn of the century that I was exposed to. And I fought for the last 30 years since I learned about it to overcome that and to bridge that gap. As we bridge the gaps and bring us together, we have to understand we are made the same way. I put my pants on the same way you put your pants on. Put my shoes on the same way you put yours on. When I bleed, it's red. Okay. When we understand that we have more power together, we'll be able to do things in the way formulating a Black Wall Street. Here in Oklahoma, I'm going to give you an example of what we're doing here. We have, at the beginning of the statehood, we had about 50 Black towns. Now we're down to 13. Of the 13 Black towns that we have here recently, Senator Kevin Matthews out of Tulsa spearheaded the legislation, and the state government awarded $1 million to each of the cities for a specific project. So things are really looking nice there. But one of the things that we noticed also is that of the 13 Black towns that we have, we don't have commerce going on, and we definitely we need to have commerce in each community. And so as we begin to share with one another and work these principles and study our financial literacy courses that we have to offer, it will help us to move forward. As we move forward, with a little bit more money. Every family gains a little bit more money, and once this money is built up, of course, we're able to start putting it together and open up businesses and making things happen. We have farmland. So what we like to do, one of the goals is to, whenever for instance, in the Black towns, there's a lot of farmland out there. But whenever we have these, our family members who come out of incarceration, okay, we have many people incarcerated unnecessarily, but they're not being trained while they're in there. They're not being reformed. And so whenever these folks come out from incarceration, we take them to these Black towns and we put them on the farms and pay them a decent salary. At the same time, we're providing housing for them in tiny homes. Okay, have the tiny homes there, but we also have counseling that's going to be taking place. Not just financial counseling, but we also will have emotional, psychological, spiritual counseling that's going to be available to these people. And as we build these communities, because we start attracting people from all across America to come to Oklahoma, to come live in one of the Black towns that we have here, and we build it together. But we get to grow our own agriculture. The agriculture department is very important. So we start making our own foods. Okay, we start growing our foods. We have pecan trees. We can plant the peach trees, all the produce, everything that we need, for our Black farmers markets. Okay, all these things will happen as we come together. we must first understand that we must work together to get this done. Now, again, there's through our financial literacy program that will teach us how to get to that point. I'm not talking about that today, but that will show us how we will be able to gain that money to get to that point. But once we are able to bring our people from prison and then put them into these communities and help our food grow, because we don't know what Cargill is controlling way too much of our food, too much of the food chain here in America. So we need to have our own food, and so we need to grow our own and have our own stores, and we support each other by exchanging money. When I moved back from Washington D.C. to Oklahoma, I wrote a note that was in my wallet for years, and it said, "Keep black money black." So whenever I make money from, whether I get a haircut or if I'm selling my sauce or whatever it may be, that money is earmarked to be passed on to another black person. It came from a black person, I'm gonna send it to another black person. We keep that money within our family, within our black communities here in in Oklahoma. They have formed a group. It's the Coalition Conference of Black Mayors. And so they come together and they talk about, things that are needed in their communities. And so we know that water is needed, always fresh water, roads for the tour buses to come through, because tourism is a big deal through our black towns here in Oklahoma. But we have to learn how to come together, how to work together. So that's one of the ways that we're doing it here. What can you do in your community? Well, you're grassroots. Okay, we're a grassroots organization. You just begin by talking to your neighbor, talking to the person across the street, talking to, communicating with many folks, but come together and strategically plan what you need in your community. Okay, I'm in a community of only 4% Black. It's only 4% Black Americans right here. So we're very limited in the number, although, there's people, in our community. But you may be in a community where, you may be 51% of the community with Black Americans. Start having the conversations, the importance of voting, the importance of being civil, the importance of communication, the importance of coming together and eating with one another. Excuse me a second. The importance of unity in America is what we need today. We come up with many different plans. It seems like I've heard so many different things here recently. Well, not just recently, but over the years. But no one has ever come up and said, when we start locking arms to arms, when you lock up and come together and start stepping, that's when we become powerful. It takes me back to a song back in 1985. Michael Jackson and a group of other stars sang a song called "We Are the World." And just from that song then, we missed it 38 years ago because we're not together as a world right now. We are apart. But I'm not going to address all the world. I'm going to address the African diaspora. I'm going to address Black America. Okay. And part of the song is it said, as it opens up, it says, there comes a time when we heed to a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. It's a time to lend a hand to life, which is the greatest gift of all. When we can lend a hand to help somebody else, when we lend a hand to help someone else, we're able to do a little bit more. We're able to do a whole lot more. I'm sorry, not just a little bit more, but a whole lot more in our communities. We can make more things happen in a much more positive way. We continue to grow. We need each other. Okay. Another few lines of the song. It's just that we can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere soon will make a change. That's not happening. Okay. We know that change is not happening, but we're all part of God's big family. And the truth of the matter is, it. Love is all we need. So when we start loving one another, okay, we are able to do a whole lot more together. We don't need to wake up every day with hate in our heart. We need to wake up and understand we got to bring this thing together. Based on what I'm seeing going on in this country, there are so many laws coming against us as people, melanated people. We have to come together. This Black Business Network, this is one of the greatest things I've ever seen before. And I really appreciate Dr. Kelly for leading this. And he has done a fabulous job assembling people to speak But as we understand, we need to connect. We need to connect the dots, as Dr. Frazier calls it. We connect the dots. That's another one of our strategies within the Black Wall Street. But as we start listening to the words of the song, as it continues to go, it says that there's a choice that we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true that we can make it a better day, just you and me. Well, yes, we can. We're making that choice. Let's make that decision. I encourage you to challenge other people in your family, in your network of people, to make that choice, to work with one another, make that decision to continue to be on, to lead a good life, to help out others, to lend a hand, to love one another. This is one of the things that we have to do, even within our community. When you see another person, a melanated person like you are, say hi. You don't have to demand that they speak back, but always offer the opportunity for them to speak. But you speak first. Let's bring this thing together. Let's talk. Let's use our words to bring us together, to unify. Okay, that's how we come together with this I'm Awake movement. We understand we have to wake up. We wake up when, like I said, with this song really, I listen to this song. My wife knows I'm kind of crazy. I've listened to it maybe 10 times a night, but I just let it just get deep into my soul and just listen to the words and realize that this cry came out in 1985 about we are the world, saving the world, USA for Africa. Okay. Well, I don't know the results that came out back then, but I do know we are where we are today and that we can make a difference. We can make a difference. Another verse to the song says that when you're down and out and there seems to be no hope at all. Okay. But if you just believe, are you crazy enough to believe? I'm crazy enough to believe that we can come together. I believe that we all can come together and work this thing out. But it says, if you just believe, there's no way we can fail. Now, whenever we have that mentality that there's no way we can fail, there's a whole lot we can do. If you knew that you could not fail at a business, what business would you open? If you knew that you couldn't fail in going to school and studying, what would you study? What would you become? If you knew you couldn't fail. We are at that point right now where we must come together because we know that if we can't fail, then, well, let us realize it's really that simple. Let us realize that change can only come when we stand together as one. We must stand together as one. We, as a Black American nation, must come together. We must be able to reach out to the African diaspora all across the world. The laws they had against Americans sending money to people in Africa. It's not been a very smooth transition, with down on how we send money nowadays anyway. It's not just Western Union, but then, the tax and Cash App and all the other cash handles. That's not always available to where our people are. So we have to be very creative in the things that we do, but we must understand we're doing this to come together. Now, whenever we talk about 10 million people coming together, just imagine whenever it's time for this 2024 vote to come up, we're able to have political power, we have economic power, okay? We can do a whole lot more together and move forward, okay? The things that we need to start doing at where we are today, okay? Let me just finish up my song. This song is still close out. We are the world. We are the people. We are the children. We're the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. Okay. So as we give, let's give our love. Let's give our time. Let's not be so selfish. Okay. Let's not just think about us. Let's think about what the betterment of this world is going to be as I help my neighbor. What can I do to help my neighbor? As we come together and we start realizing that our money that we make, the $1 trillion that we have that comes into 1.3 trillion that we use as consumers, as Black Americans, we need to hold on to our money a little bit longer. Let that money pass along the line. I live in a town where we have 5 national tribal headquarters, Native American headquarters here in this town. One of them is more powerful, more beneficial than the others. I have a fraternity brother who works there as a human resource director. He said that their money, they have some money that can change hands 1,000 times without ever leaving the community because they built every bit of a city right there. Okay. They have a couple casinos, produces a lot of money. They have a grocery store, produces a lot of money. I'm sorry, they have 3 grocery stores. They're producing a lot of money coming in. Okay, they have a bowling alley, ballparks, softball. They bought a professional basketball team. But the leader of that particular organization knows how to keep that money inside. That's what we need to learn how to do, is to trust each other. If there's a Black person that can pour concrete, let's hire them. If there's a person that can build an extra room on your house, we're going to hire them. Let's start putting our minds together, matching our spirits together. Let's talk to these people, and let's start making our money float within our community. Now, as that money is moving around, okay, we got to understand this. You cannot go get paid on Friday, immediately go to the salon, and somebody who doesn't look like you is controlling your fingertips and your toenails, your feet. And we're paying money to these people who are never going to bring that money back to our community. We must be disciplined enough to understand we need to send our own to school, to have their own shops and support them. We go to the barber who looks like us, but we need to be able to go to the nail salon and to the resorts of people who look like us. Let's make our money change hands within, okay? As we come together and we're networking all across, okay? I want to plug for a guy over in Georgia with the Black Achievement Fund. Okay, RP with the Black Achievement Fund. He has a green book, just a digital book that shows you in every state Black-owned businesses. It's a simple membership. You ought to check him out. Black Achievement Fund, right there in Atlanta, Georgia. But whenever we have this type of resource that we can pull up on our telephones and find out where we can go to get a radiator, where can we go to get our hair done? All right, we can find out through this directory in every city, and because we're bringing everything together, we know exactly where to go and how to spend our money. The most important thing as we continue to move forward and grow is to make sure that we keep our money together, that we keep our minds together, that we help each other out. Okay. Another thing that we need to do as we continue as we grow together, let's control our mouths. I'm not a fan of Stephen A. Smith, not because of the job he does, but because of the words that he says. The words he says are pretty harsh for the Black folks. We do not need to down us any longer. We do not need to continue talking about our deficiencies. We don't need to point out all the things that we've had going bad. We got people that's going to do that. We don't need to continue to support that. We don't need to continue to support folks who are not building us up, and we need to build each other up. It takes a lot in this world, okay, to live, and we know that within our communities. We already know, now white people are being affected by what do they call that, mental health. They don't see it the way that we've been seeing it. We've gone through years of many families coming through slavery and all the trauma that went through. Then that DNA being built was passed on to where we are today. We understand what trauma looks like. We understand what it feels like to be underneath somebody else's thumb, so to speak, for so long. We have the ability at this point in time to unify, to come together, and to walk together, and begin to vote together, begin to grow together. Okay, but the challenge is I'm putting this challenge out to you. Say positive words to our people. On a daily. Let's bring down the chatter, okay? The music world that's out there, the people are paid, our young children are being paid big money to talk about things that aren't necessary. These rap songs and the music that's in these songs, that's not by choice. That's not necessarily, why is it so popular? Because that's what the people behind the scenes want to happen. They want us to be chaotic. They want us to act like the songs that we hear. Okay, the prison system is right there. The criminal justice system, the criminal legal system, I guess it should be called. There's really no justice. It's designed to trap us, to get us there. Let's get away from that trap. Let's start using our heads. Let's start talking. Let's start communicating. Let's start breaking bread together more often, because that is the way that we're going to be able to take a step forward as we bring things together, as we unify Black America. Okay. You identify who your leaders are in your communities, and you just bring everything together. I say bring everything together. You start meeting, you start talking, you start having conversations about what we want to do. Now, we have I can send you some information on that as far as, becoming a part of the group, the organization. And so if you will just send an email with your name, name and phone number. And if you have a website, that'd be fine too. And where you're from, send that to IMAWAKE, I'm awake 74801 @gmail.com. Then I will send you the questionnaires that we send out to serve and get you connected. And so, again, when we all connect, okay, we all working together, we can put our money together. We can do many things. One thing I envision, okay, there's a guy by the name of John Lennon who sung this song called Imagine. Imagine. Boy, everybody has imagination. Just if you can imagine all the people coming together, imagine all Black people coming together, working together, putting our money together, and having our own basketball league, kind of like Ice Cube. We got a basketball league going on at 3-on-3. It does some good. There's other things that we can do to bring people in. We can encourage our children from leaving from school, from high school and going to these bigger schools. Let's encourage them to go to HBCUs. Well, they said, well, they don't have facilities there. Well, as we come together and make money, we'll be able to donate money to these HBCUs and upgrade the facilities, make sure they have the good food that's necessary, the good technology on campus that's necessary, okay? Make sure they have all the things that's necessary to run a college. Before 1954, before that decision was made to integrate the schools, we depended on each other. We got to get back to that mentality. Because when we go and educate each other, we can talk about the real deal. We're going to tell the truth about history. We know what took place. We want to teach it to our students and to our family members. These things need to happen. But when we take our talents and we send it to, so to speak, send it to these major universities, they're not going to get that education. People going to the University of Oklahoma. I went to Oklahoma State University. I promise you, they never mentioned anything about the Tulsa race riots. Our superintendent of schools in Oklahoma decided that they cannot teach they had to teach the Black, what they call it, the race riot, the race massacre in Tulsa. They can't teach that directly because, see, it deals with race. And, we got the CRT thing. Well, we don't need to be running from the truth. We need to be able to go to the truth. We need to be able to put our money into private schools, which, there's more Black schools that need to be opening up so we can teach our students what's necessary. I teach at a public school right now. And based on what I've seen over the last few years, it's going to be time for us to open some private schools, some charter schools to send these children to make sure they get educated, because the system is not for our students being educated to be in this world. When we come together, okay, and we put our money together, we're able to, like I say, create our own leagues. We can have our own football league, track league, baseball league, whatever it may be. When we come together, that's a long way off, but that's what I'm imagining. I'm imagining, Mobile, Alabama, Africa Town, to be more specific, okay, to be money pumped into that economy there. And the roads are fixed up, the houses are fixed up, and we're making Mobile, Alabama a resort capital of America for Black folks. Because, see, we could go there, because the town's already 51% Black. They already have a port that's there, okay? So many people are already landing or driving there. Some are landing there, and they're going to stay a night or two in Mobile. But if we make that the Black capital of America, that's a spot we all could go to, okay? There's many empty buildings that are there that can be fixed up. Oprah Winfrey has a place that's there. We stopped and ate at her restaurant last year when I was there. But just seeing the potential of what we could do by coming together, voting together. We don't always get the right people that we want in office there, but when we stand as one, we can do a whole lot more together. So imagine life. Imagine life in America when we have the playing field leveled, because finances, we have equal amount of money. If we don't have equal amount of money, let's have a little bit more money. Okay, let's raise our average from, if it's just $20,000 a year, let's raise that to $30,000. then to 40,000 per family. Just keep on raising. I know it's not that low. I'm just throwing numbers out there. I'm just saying let's increase it. We can do that whenever we take control of our minds, can take control of our families. We take control of what we're doing in life. We wake up to these that they have out there that's waiting on us. The food that we're eating is so much junk in it. There's 55 different ingredients in a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. I think it's 57 from Popeyes. There's a bunch of stuff that's really not good for us to eat. We need to wake up so we can help ourselves. See, we make the decision, okay, that we can control where we're going in life. But you have to have an imagination first that we bring it together. As we bring it together, we make it as one, okay? We're able to do so much more by locking arms, and hand in hand, we can go. The financial literacy program that we have that's under the umbrella of the Black Wall Street Private Group is something that's second to none. And within that, we are able to teach folks how to, reduce your taxes, okay? Reduce your debt, increase your assets, increase your credit score, and raise things up. And so that allows us an opportunity to bring more money into our homes. And so that financial literacy portion of the Black Wall Street Private Group, that's a whole different subject there. But like I say, the unity is what is so important to us, and what we need to do is to love one another, change it, address it in our hearts so we can go ahead and move forward.
Mr. Young, this was a spectacular talk that you gave, and you're right about so many different things. This was extraordinary. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. Dr. Kelly, thank you for the opportunity for me to share. I said the Black Business Network is something that is always going to be in my heart from now on.
Would you do us a favor and give us your contact information again, please?
Okay. My name is Timmy Young. My number is 405-243-3798. Email address, imake74801@gmail.com. That's imake74801.
Yep. Give that phone number one more time.
405-243-3798.
Mr. Young, thank you. You've inspired me. We are learning so much, and we do realize that listening to you and being on the Black Business Network, it is true that the genius is common. Thank you for coming. We'll see you on the other side.
Thank you. Appreciate you, sir.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we're hearing an extraordinary talk from Mr. Young, and we have to acknowledge now that the things that we need are to come together. The Black Business Network is taking care of giving us a platform to come together. And I want to talk about the people that are helping. This is for the scholarship money for our students to go to school, and we're going to create a situation where we turn the tide. We all see the bad news. This is the good news. So I want to promote the Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors so they can go to college. We know that our kids want to go, they want to learn. So you can go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or use a Cash App. It's on the screen below, and say $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at the same place, blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. So we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. And we want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for July 2023. And that's NC100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Ritchie Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, BHS and Associates, Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Milani Shani Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, the Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artist App Design, and of course, Black Business Expo USA. Genius is Common. I'll see you on the other side.
Hello, this is Israel, and I am CEO of Daydreams Interactive and author of Princess Planet. So, genius is common, and as a kid, I loved to daydream. Even as an adult, I love to daydream. And when my daughter became 6 and loved princess characters, but we just could not find the diversity that showed her, we created our own characters. So, for instance, you have Princess Nulu right here. Princess Nulu is from Uganda, and her genius is that she loves to take care of animals. She can actually even listen and hear what they say. And then we have Princess Isabella right here. Princess Isabella, she's from Cuba, and her genius is biochemistry. One day she hopes to eliminate disease. Then we have Princess Nia right here, and Princess Nia is based off of my daughter, and she is what she wants to be, the greatest dancer alive. So that's her genius. So what's your genius? My genius is my imagination. Genius is common.
Hello, my name is Kiasi Helm and I'm 14 years old. I think my genius would probably have to be setting goals and achieving them. I say this because ever since I was young, I always wanted to be an author, and at age 11, I ended up achieving this. But not only did I end up becoming an author, I ended up becoming a public speaker, a publisher, a business owner, all these great things. The name of my business is Written by Kids Publishing Company. I decided to start this company because I thought it was important for me to help kids my age express themselves through literacy and just achieve their own goals. Because to me, achieving goals is the best thing in the world to feel. It's you just achieving things and aspirations that you set for yourself. And I know that everybody is capable of this, because even if you don't end up achieving the goal, you still tried your best, and that's the most important thing. And everybody is capable of this because genius is common. Thank you.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America, and my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million+ women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.
It's time for you to start bossing in social media. For all your social media needs, you come to the right place at the right time to get your website designed, landing page, social media platforms, and get the training you need to get in front of the people that's ready to buy your products and services. Let me train you with StreamYard, Zoom, Clubhouse, and much more. And let me help you get your virtual professionals, not assistants, because assistants can only assist you, but the virtual professionals can give you that professional flavor that you need to expand your reach and increase your revenue. Jump on in and get in where you fit in and start boxing today.
Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. We know with all of this genius inside of us, we continue to develop and change because the master, the omnipotent one, placed his image and his likeness inside of you and I. So we've got to stay the course. I'm Eliza Dukes Carter, CEO of the Breathing Experience Movement, master breathologist, stress and behavior analysis strategist, a recording artist, a best-selling author, and an ambassador to the Genius is Common movement, because we know that genius is common. So keep in your flow. And I appreciate you, Bruce George. Thank you kindly, and blessings and peace.
La connexion. La connexion.
In a world obsessed with the cult of celebrity, I challenge you not to aspire to anyone else's greatness, but instead strive to reveal and ignite the greatness within you.
Are you serious?
I totally think that that's it.
Hey.
No!
Hey! To me, sexy is a man that knows who he is and what he wants.
Okay.
He's comfortable. You look at him, you see him, he's just comfortable being himself. And you're like,
Baby, be you.
Be you, baby.
Just be you. I like it. Introducing the Be You collection, exclusively available at K&G Fashion Superstore.
Producers, directors, I met designers, and then everybody says, oh, this is my 6th year, and oh, this is my 4th year.
Shout out to New York. We're in New York in like 7 hours.
Oh my gosh, yes, we have a 6:58 flight, so.
We gotta go home. We gotta go.
We gotta go.
Let me tell you something. Every single person that's come through the store has spoke so highly of you, and what a great event this is. Yes.
I'm representing DJ Darryl, who is a platinum producer. He did the hit track for Tupac Shakur, Keep Your Head Up, Snoop Dogg, Keisha Cole.
I'm Kennedy Harris. My genius is being an entrepreneur. I'm the CEO of K-Lock, a company where I develop my very own line of kids supplements. I currently market my multivitamin for kids to help combat weak immunity. During the pandemic, research has shown that having a strong immune system is key to fighting off disease. My vitamins are for kids, but adults can benefit from them as well.
I'm adding a proprietary blend to my supplement line. I want to create my own blend so that I have a competitive edge in the marketplace. Staying healthy is important to me so that we live longer and have healthier lives. My website is klockproducts.com. That is K-L-O-C-K. Genius is common.
Hello, my name is Kiasi Helm and I'm 14 years old. I think my genius would probably have to be setting goals and achieving them. I say this because ever since I was young, I always wanted to be an author.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support. Where health education is abundant. Where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
This is Dr. Arnold T. Petsworth. He's the owner of Petsworth Vet World, a veterinary clinic in Hopton, Connecticut. His patients include dog, cat, frog, fish,
Goldie,
dog, and this alpaca. Due to doctor-patient confidentiality, we can't tell you their names. Business at Vet World was steady, and then quarantine hit. Neighbors brought new four-legged friends into their homes. Bunnies. Bunnies everywhere. Dr. Petsworth welcomed these new patients with open arms. The only problem? There were more appointments than he could manage. That's when Dr. Petsworth turned to his American Express business card, which offers spending potential that's built for his changing business needs. He decided to hire a new assistant, Julio, and with spending power built for business purchases, he used his card to furnish a new exam room. Together, Dr. Petsworth, Julio, and American Express Business made sure all the pets of Hopton got the love and care they deserve. And everyone was happy. Get the card built for business by American Express.
I'd like you to imagine with me, if you will, opening an app where you can collaborate with like-minded individuals from around the world, get inspiration and in-app tools to launch and grow your business, as well as share your knowledge and earn compensation, all in one app. Well, the name of that app is Truso, short for Truly Social. Hi, I'm Matthew Newman, the founder and CEO of Truso, a new concept in social media. Truso is designed from the ground up to be a platform that's both social and empowering for all its users. How exactly do we do that? I'm glad you asked. First, Truso brings the world together via video. Psychologists assert that video provides a significantly more effective connection than audio only. When you enter a community on Truso, you're face to face. Second, on Truso, you don't have to have 1 million followers to monetize. Our business model allows all hosts and moderators to monetize, no matter the size of your following, by 1, producing fee-based content, and 2, inviting others to join the platform as subscribers. Even more, Truso has an in-app resource library with over 100 free resources, forms, and documents to help you build your brand and grow your business. Third, Truso is inclusive. The deaf and hard of hearing communities make up 360 million people worldwide. Unlike audio-only apps, Truso embraces this community, providing a networking platform that allows them to participate via video and closed captioning. We even have a deaf and hard of hearing foundation in the works as well. Fourth, Truso is both social and safe. We refer to Truso as a virtual extension of the beauty shop, barbershop, and brainchild of the community. A place where there's laughter, along with wisdom, growth-oriented conversation, and genuine connections in a safe space. Truso even has proprietary security to ensure we maintain a safe environment for everyone. Where are we at now? Truso is live, y'all. We've launched in beta, and we're acquiring users daily. We have an incredible development and marketing team, plus amazing celebrity influencers at the table, helping us spread the word around the globe, beginning within the African diaspora and beyond by creating a safe space for growth, connection, and collaboration. We're truly excited about Truso. We've created something special for which there is a global market. And we invite you to embark on this journey with us as a shareholder. The future for Truso is truly bright. Join us and let's go there together.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Good evening, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Charles Kithcart of African Diaspora Maritime. I'm your business moderator for this evening on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, North Carolina, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. The Black Business Network is wonderful. So tonight, our speaker is Angela Baptiste of Inspire. Angela Baptiste has been a leader in the field of business-to-business sales operations in the telecommunications industry for the past 26 years, winning several coveted awards in her field. Recognizing the desire that people had for uplifting, inspirational, and motivational content after transitioning from the corporate world, she got certified as speaker, coach, and trainer of the John Maxwell team and began her independent business, Inspire, as a way to positively influence, inspire, and empower others in her community. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Angela Baptiste.
Good evening. Happy Monday. How are you?
I'm fine, Angela. It's extraordinary to see you. I've seen you a couple times in these commercials, and I said, I want to meet that lady.
Well, hello. I'm here today. So nice to meet you, Charles.
Well, thank you so much. So I'm going to sit back, and I've got my popcorn and tea, and I'm going to hear what you have to say and take it all in. Genius is coming. I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope you're having a great day. Today, I wanted to talk with you about living intentionally, designing a life of purpose and fulfillment, and living by fulfillment, not by default, right? So it's so important that we're designing and creating our lives. 20 plus years, I worked in the corporate environment, and I was having someone else design my life. And then one day, what happened? They just decided, okay, we no longer wanted operations in the Alpharetta, Georgia office. We're centralizing it. And they were like, okay, I'll give you an option. You could take the option of going to Houston or going to New Jersey. And I was like, none of those fit into my design that I had for my life, that I was creating for myself. And so I said, okay, it was time for me to start creating a different scenario for my life. And so that's how Inspire came about. And, those days I was chasing those KPIs, key performance indicators. Well, now my KPIs are keeping people inspired. And so what a change it has been. It's just been a pleasure just being able to add value and positively impact those people, leaders, individuals that surround me. So let's talk, right? Let's talk about what it looks like when you're designing and create a life for yourself. Today's July 24th, right? July 24th. And if you're an entrepreneur or even as an individual, a business owner, a manager, I would hope that you have taken some time to reflect and refresh and then begin again, right? Or restart. And at the end, I'll give you a breakdown of what those acronyms stand for. Refresh, first reflect, of course, and then you're going to refresh and then restart. And I call it halftime. And if you're watch a game, if you love soccer or football or whatever game in sports, tennis you might like, there's halftime. And have you ever witnessed where at halftime there's a team that's down by, say, maybe 9-3 or 10-5 or something like that. And the team that's down, they get halftime. And then what happens? They come back and then they're able to win the game. What do you think happened during that halftime? So halftime, the goal of halftime is that you improve the performance of the team for the second half. And so we're on that second half. And if we're looking to say, okay, how do I want my business, my team, my family life, right? What do you anticipate it to look like by the 2023? Since for the last 6 months, we've been talking about goal setting. And so I'm talking today now about halftime, reflecting, refreshing, and restarting again, looking back for a few minutes and saying, okay, here's what I said I wanted to do in January. Okay, am I there yet? What do I need to do better in order to get and achieve those outcomes that I desire to achieve by the end of 2023? So let's talk about living by that intention, setting those goals to achieve after you've done that reflection and resetting, right? And starting again. Everyone I believe wants his or her life to matter, to have some kind of meaning. And this is possible for each and every one of us. Don't you agree? We all have that potential. The key to designing and creating a life of significance is being intentional. Yes. Each and every day, we must be intentional. Yes, we have those dreams, those visions. But if we don't ever take the action, what's going to happen? We'll never achieve the desired outcomes that we want to create. So the question is, right? What's your story? Who are you becoming? Are you making the world a better place, whether it's in your business, whether it's at home or in your community? Yes, we are the authors of our lives. We should not or refuse to have anyone else to create our story. What are you creating today for yourself? It's so important for us to live each and every day intentionally, taking full responsibility, taking control each and every day of our lives. One of the things that is so important is habits. And I don't know about you, you have bad habits or good habits, right? And if you think about it, in the context of living intentionally, there's a quote by John Maxwell, and it says, "You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine." Now that's deep. I'll read that again. You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. My question is, what's your routine? Do you have a routine? What are some of those things that's not serving you in achieving those desired outcomes that you're desiring for success? It's the quote clearly emphasizes the significance of small, consistent actions in shaping our lives. It encourages leaders to focus on creating positive habits and making intentional choices in our daily routine so that we could bring about lasting change. In a world that's filled with distractions and societal expectations, living life intentionally is a powerful choice that could bring immense joy, meaning, and fulfillment. It involves consciously designing our lives instead of merely going through the motions. Today, in our discussion, we will explore the concept of living intentionally, highlighting the importance of purposefully living and providing practical tips for embracing this transformative approach, which is emphasizing the importance of consciously shaping your life. Instead of living by default, we highlight the idea of intentional living as a deliberate choice that leads to a more purposeful and fulfilling existence. You know, John Maxwell says again in a quote, success is not a destination, it's a journey. So it's not somewhere you get to and then you have nowhere else going, right? It's a journey, so it's continuous. It's until we die, we're on that journey. So living intentionally requires a clarity of purpose, understanding our values, our passions, and what truly matters to us allows us to create a life that is meaningful and fulfilling. It involves setting meaningful goals. We've been talking about this all these past 6 months, setting those goals, making the decision that it's in alignment with your purpose, in alignment with your dreams and your vision. It was Ralph Waldo who stated, the purpose of life is not to be happy, it is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. When you design your life, and you're creating a life that's meaningful, not only to yourself, but to those around you, yes, you could say you've lived an honorable life, one that's made a difference, and that you've lived well. A life best lived is a life by design, not one by accident, and not by just walking through the day, careening from wall to wall and just managing to survive. That's not okay. We need to thrive. That's okay. But if you can start giving your life dimension, design and color and objectives and purpose, the results can be staggering. So that's what we should be striving for, giving ourselves that joy, those colors, different dimensions in our life, right? By defining who we want to become. Those are the things that what it means living by design. You know, aligning with our values and our goals and our aspirations. It's about taking control of our destiny, making deliberate decision instead of simply reacting to circumstances. Are you there today just going by the seat, running and making decisions by the seat of our pants? We don't need to do that. We need to consciously, intentionally, daily, weekly, monthly, annually, biannually, be setting out what those goals are in order so it's aligning with our purpose, aligning with what our values are, or dreams and our hopes. Once we do that, then we're setting out for those desired outcomes and we'll be living a life of significance. It was Steve Jobs who said, your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life. It's no fun living someone else's plan. And that's what happens if we're not careful. If we're not designing and creating the life that we desire, then someone else is creating it for us. And that is too expensive to live someone else's life. Yes, for sure. If we do not design our lives, someone else will. So here are some practical tips for living intentionally. Number one, define what your values are. Reflecting on what matters most to you in life. Identify what those core values are, which will serve as your guiding principles. Number two, set meaningful goals. We've talked about this previously as well, establishing short-term and long-term goals that align with those values and visions and breaking them into actionable steps, right? Because that's what is important. The planning is important, yes, but taking that action item, making the steps, doing that action, taking that action, that's what's going to determine whether or not you're successful or not, right? And what we suggest is just breaking them down into actionable steps, ones that you could, step by step. And then next, practice mindfulness. How many times, a lot of times we're reacting instead of responding. So cultivating a sense of self-awareness and being present in the moment is so key, right? Mindfulness allows you and me to make conscious choices and to appreciate the journey that we're on, remembering that life is not a destination, but it's a journey, appreciating, enjoying, celebrating along the way. Also, next priority is self-care. We must prioritize self-care. Take care of your physical, your mental, and your emotional well-being. Nurture yourself to maintain a strong foundation for intentional living. That's key, because who's number one? And how, if you haven't taken care of yourself, can you truly take care of anyone else? If you remember this analogy, is when you're on the airplane and the stewardess is giving the instructions about if there was an accident or anything, what do they say? They put your mask on first, and then you could help the other person. So this is what we're talking about: prioritizing your self-care, taking care of all your being, both physical, mental, and as well as emotional. And then next, surrounding yourself with positivity. Surround yourself with supportive and like-minded individuals who inspire and uplift you. Who are those 5 people that you're surrounding yourself with? Are they uplifting you, or are they tearing you down? Do you need to get a new support system that will, pour into you and fill you up? Or do you need to, find another group of people? Remember that, they're coaches, they're mentors, and then, you could have your friends and family as well. But sometimes our friends and our family, are they toxic? Are they helping you or to grow? If not, then you need to find other people to surround yourself with. Embrace learning and growth. Continuously seek opportunities for personal and professional development. Expand your knowledge, skills, and perspectives. There's some people who would say, I met someone actually who told me that they knew everything they needed to learn. I was like, wow, interesting. That's what I was thinking to myself. I don't even think he was 60 yet. And he said he knew everything he needed to know. How sad is that? That means he's ready to go in a coffin someplace, because growth and development should always be continuous. Every day, if I don't get up and learn something new, then I'm not doing the right things that I should be doing, because every day there's an opportunity for learning and growth. So always thinking, reading, finding opportunities to learn and grow. Remembering that if you don't live a life by design, you'll end up living a life by default. And that's no fun. We have that choice to live the life by design or default. Living by design means taking an active and deliberate approach to how we shape our lives. It involves making conscious choices, setting goals aligned with our values, and actively pursuing our passions and our aspirations. When we live by design, we are intentional about the direction our lives take, actively seeking personal growth, fulfillment, and meaning. By taking ownership of our lives and making intentional decisions, we have the power to create the life we truly desire. We have the freedom to pursue our passions, make choices that align with our values, and design a life that reflects our unique vision and purpose. If we're living by default, on the other hand, living by default refers to a passive approach. Who wants to do that? We're allowing external circumstances, societal expectations, and the opinion of others to dictate the course of our life. Instead of consciously designing our lives, we're falling into routines and patterns that may not align with our true desires and values. Living by default can lead to a sense of drifting or feeling stuck in a life that lacks fulfillment and purpose. It's when we let fear, comfort, or societal pressures dictate our decisions rather than taking ownership and actively pursuing what brings us joy and fulfillment. It's so important to exercise, and know that we have that power, the power to choose, being able to recognize that there's a crucial distinction between living by design and living by default. That power of choice. We have the ability to choose how we want to live our lives and the level of intentionality we bring to our decisions. Each choice that we make, no matter how small, has the potential to shape our path and impact our overall well-being. By embracing and living by design, we take control of our lives and accept responsibility for our choices. We proactively seek opportunities for growth. We prioritize our values and align our actions with our long-term vision. Living intentionally empowers us to create a life that's authentic, fulfilling, and in harmony with our true selves. Living intentionally by design has so many benefits. To become a better leader, to become a better parent, a better entrepreneur, you name it. When we live a life by design, we're creating that success that we want to achieve. So let's explore how it can positively impact the areas of being in leadership or parenting or as an entrepreneur. As a leader, so if you're a leader, how can leadership be impacted when you live a life of design? Living intentionally helps leaders clarify their values, their vision, and what their purpose is. And as a leader, isn't that one of the most important things for you to recognize and identify what's the values, What's the values of my organizations? What are those values that I should create for my team? And how does that match the culture that we live in? And how is it going to get us in order to achieve those purpose and live the vision that we are saying that we want to create and live? By understanding their own motivations and aligning their actions with their core values, leaders can inspire and motivate their team members more effectively. Intentional leaders set clear goals. They make thoughtful decisions and cultivate a positive and empowering environment for their team. How about that? So yes, leaders, as a leader, we definitely need to have a life that we're creating and designing for, whether it's our team or organization, or and building that culture around whatever those vision and dreams are. As a parent, what greater job or role do we have than parenting? And intentional parenting involves being present within your family, being engaged, being purposeful in raising our kids. By consciously designing parenting strategies based on your core values, parents can establish a nurturing and supporting environment. Intentional parents prioritize quality time, effective communication, and instilling important values, guiding their children towards becoming responsible, confident, and empathic individuals. And yes, what an important role it is to be parents. So definitely, families, we have to be creating and designing a life based on those values and our what we're expecting to achieve from for our families. And then as entrepreneurs, intentional entrepreneurs approach their ventures with purpose, with vision, and careful planning. By defining their goals and understanding their target market, they can make informed decisions and create products or services that genuinely meet customer needs. Intentional entrepreneurs also prioritize personal growth, seek mentorship, and continuously adapt their strategies to ensure long-term success. Living intentionally in these roles allows individuals to prioritize what truly matters. What consciously designing their lives, individuals can prioritize what truly matters in their roles as leaders, as parents, and as entrepreneurs. We can focus on meaningful goals and activities that align with our values, leading to a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment. We're able to make more informed decisions. Living intentionally encourages individuals to reflect on their choices and consider the potential impact on whether they're leading well or they're parenting well or that entrepreneurial journey. This leads to more thoughtful and strategic decision making, resulting in those successful outcomes that we're wanting to achieve. So, create a positive impact intentionally. Living enables individuals to be more mindful and being in alignment with those values and those goals. It fosters growth and adaptability. Living intentionally promotes continuous growth and development, yes. So if we want to foster growth and adaptability, we need to be living intentional lives, living by design and not default. As leaders, parents, or entrepreneurs, we as individuals can seek learning opportunities, embrace challenges, and adapt approaches that's based on insights and new experiences. So, as we spoke about earlier, it's so important for us to take a pause. Yes, take a pause and just stop whatever you're doing. It's okay to be quiet and still. I know we live in a world where we're constantly going and going. But as we talked about AF time earlier, and they take this pause just for a few minutes to reflect over where you've been, where you want to go. Okay. And then say, okay, here am I. Reassess. Is this where I want to be? If it is where you want to be, then you're going to keep those strategies. But if it's not where you want to be, then it's okay to rip it up, rip the Band-Aid off and say, this is not where I want to be. I need to reset and restart. And that's okay. Because remember, it's a journey. And if you're heading in the wrong direction, why keep going in that direction? We have to change course sometimes. And we have to remember that that's okay. But that's why it's so important. We take a pause. We stop for a minute. Give ourselves time to breathe. Look back for a minute and say, okay, here's where I said I wanted to be come July. Am I there yet? If I'm not there, what are some of the things that kept me from getting there? Was I really engaged? What do I need to do differently? And then after that reflection, we refresh whatever needs to be refreshed, and then we restart again. It's so important for self-reflection, being self-aware, having the courage to make the choice that may diverge from the societal norms, but remembering that it's okay. You're designing and creating your life. And also that it's an ongoing process of self-discovery, adaptation, and refinement. By embracing the power of choice, we can break free from the limitations of default living and creating a life that reflects our true values or passions or dreams or aspirations. Living by design empowers us to live with purpose, to find fulfillment, and ultimately to create a legacy that is meaningful to us and to those around us. You know, being intentional means living by your core values, setting intentional goals, living your life on purpose, setting your priorities. What are your priorities for your team, your organization, your family, your community? You name it. What is that for you? What does it mean for you to be intentional? And this is not something that's just once, right? It's a daily being intentional, setting those goals for your next day prior. So tonight I am going to set the goals or my plan for tomorrow so that I could be intentional with how I spend my day. Are you being intentional today? Have you taken a halftime? Do you value and know how important it is to take that pause? Taking time for self-reflection, becoming self-aware. An unintentional life accepts everything and does nothing. An intentional life embraces only the things that will add to the mission of significance. So living intentionally supports individuals in becoming better leaders, better parents, better community activists, members, and entrepreneurs. It allows and it enables them to align their actions with their values and make informed decisions.
Beautifully spoken.
Thank you.
We're learning so much from you. And I sat here mesmerized because we can get into the rat race and we forget that if we can calm ourselves down, the vision comes to us.
Mm-hmm.
We're thrilled to hear what you have to say. And I jumped in because when they put me up on screen, that means we're going to chat a little bit.
Okay.
And I want to tell you how valuable what you're saying is. I think a lot of times people keep the day job, they're working on their vision, and life is happening, and they get caught in the wheel,
Mm-hmm.
and they're spinning, and they get spun out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with your sage advice and wisdom, you're helping us to ground ourselves, as you say, become intentional, and then you can let go of some of this extra clutter that's unneeded. If you look over my shoulder, there's a television, but I can assure you that that TV is off 90% of the time.
Yep. I'm the same.
Yes, because we come home and we need to relax and whatever. So I'll watch an Agatha Christie mystery or right? I'll watch a BBC show, and it's calming and it's tasteful. It's not overdone, and you don't go to bed traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know. I know. You know, my husband, he doesn't understand because I don't ever watch the news, right? And he's like, but you must know what's. I said, I'm going to hear what's in the news anyway. I don't have to watch it.
I understand that, and I've was looking when COVID first started, and I realized that they were amping us up and scaring us. And I said, there's a pandemic. We understand what that means. I get it. I don't need to hear a running count and say, stay tuned next.
I know. I'm scaring myself.
So what you're doing is we really have to learn how to live these holistic lives. And we're going to really have to take your sage advice. This isn't a joke, folks. When you're achieving, you also have to cut out the extra things that you don't need to know.
Yes.
And we can assume that there's going to be some bad news out there.
Yes, for sure.
And we're going to get it by osmosis. It'll creep into our lives somehow. And but I really like what you have to say. And if you're listening at home, if you cut some of these things out and really hear what Mrs. Baptiste is saying, cut out all of these extra thoughts that you don't need to know. And get off of the social media game of just tweeting and commenting on everything. And find the time to recenter yourself, charge your battery, and talk about what you want to do the night before. Either talk about it, think on it, write it, and then you get up and start your day. Don't get caught up on Yahoo News.
Yes, yes.
Find out what
I think it was Peter Drucker who said the best way to predict the future is to create it.
So you create your own future. So having said that, I want to thank you again for coming. We've learned a lot.
Thank you. Thank Dr. Kelly for having
me. Thank Dr. Kelly. So we say it all the time and we mean it. And sometimes when we go through the day, we see so many negative examples, we start to feel depressed. But here on the Black Business Network, we can say genius is common. I'll see you on the other side.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so that was fabulous. I want to promote the scholarship. The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. The expo is a fundraiser for students, and you may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund. Or use the Cash App that's on the screen below and say $BBXUSA, and you can help and we can change our future. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts, so we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. We want to thank the Black Business Expo USA sponsors for July 2023. NC 100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Ritchie Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, STEP Management, BHS and Associates, Margie McLean Foundation, Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Malaine Shani Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Forces Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, Black Business Expo USA. Genius is common. I'll see you on the other side.
Hello, this is Israel, and I am CEO of Daydreams Interactive and author of Princess Planet. So, genius is common, and as a kid, I loved to daydream. Even as an adult, I love to daydream. And when my daughter became 6 and loved princess characters, but we just could not find the diversity that showed her, we created our own characters. So, for instance, you have Princess Nulu right here. Princess Nulu is from Uganda, and her genius is that she loves to take care of animals. She can actually even listen and hear what they say. And then we have Princess Isabella right here. Princess Isabella, she's from Cuba, and her genius is biochemistry. One day she hopes to eliminate disease. Then we have Princess Nia right here, and Princess Nia is based off of my daughter, and she is what she wants to be, the greatest dancer alive. So that's her genius. So what's your genius? My genius is my imagination. Genius is common.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America, and my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million+ women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo. One of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support. Where health education is abundant. Where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
I was born in a little village on the island of Haiti. Many deadly diseases pounded me. It is as if they were on a mission to end my existence on this earth. I refused to give up. In 1983, I left Haiti and came to the United States of America. And I came with $5, 2 shirts. I didn't speak any English. I came to Atlanta. I got a job. I was a doorman. I was a doorman with a dream. What I used to do, I used to come on stage. I'd rehearse this moment that I'm standing in front of you. That's the power of a dream. Maybe today is the day you begin acting as if you already have it. And then step out with full force. Take a risk. No condition is permanent. Don't let your situation distract you. You are chosen. You are called. You are born for a purpose in this life.
The Black Business Expo is changing my life. This year, they are giving away laptops and even $5,000 in cash to students just like me. I'm Alexis, and I want to go to college to fulfill my dream of becoming an entrepreneur. Help the Black Business Expo going to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com and also becoming a vendor, a sponsor, or donating.
How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know, a student, a business entrepreneur? Or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turned to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder? Did you destroy their dream, or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete. Give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dream by sponsoring them, supporting them, and buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our Black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, and our entrepreneurs. And you can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to do? Sit on the sideline and watch our students in high school be leaving, miss out on their dream from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. The Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of Black business in the history of the world. Prepare for what's coming and dominate in economic winter. Stand strong and thrive by showcasing your great products and services globally through the Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics. The Black Business Network has showcased over 2,000 companies with over $7 billion in sales each year. Over 10 million attendees have viewed the rebroadcast each month. Through the Black Business Olympics, unique styles of business training and mentoring are turning students into business owners and entrepreneurial warriors who will dominate in any economy. Gain the ultimate advantage of the Black Business Olympics, 7 days of unbelievable topics and speakers speaking around the globe. Donate your time and experience to provide expertise and scholarships to students worldwide and change the world. Now, more than ever, new insights, tools, strategies, and capabilities are needed. This is your chance for a major presentation to the world. Fill out the form and join the more than 2,000 speakers who have presented to over 200 countries. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the metaverse, STEM City,
Black Multiverse Enterprises, Hulu, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pod TV, IBM TV, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Sign up today. Spaces are limited, and we will see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good evening, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Charles Cathcart of African Diaspora Maritime. I'm your business moderator for this evening on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, North Carolina, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about businesses. Our next speaker is Dr. Stephanie Ardrey of 420 Wellness Jamaica Incorporated. Dr. Stephanie Ardrey is a serial entrepreneur with over 3 decades of history of conceptualizing, launching, scaling, and operating multi-billion-dollar organizations. Dr. Ardrey is recognized as a proven leader in the real estate, finance, and development sector, leading design and building teams through the development process while ensuring that the scope, schedules, and budgets were maintained for multi-billion-dollar portfolios of projects under her leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you Dr. Stephanie Ardrey.
Hi, Charles. How are you?
Dr. Ardrey, listen, I'm listening and reading what you've done, and I don't believe it because you look too young, and we're going to have to send the FBI out.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Someone posted on social media the other day that we as people of African descent tend to be the most stressed, but somehow or another, they say Black don't crack, right? So somehow or another, the comment ended with, just think of what we look like if we didn't have the stress that we had to endure, right?
Well,
so
we'd have to arrest you. We'd have to arrest you if you didn't have any stress because we wouldn't believe it. But I'm thrilled to have you. I'm going to sit here and listen. And as we say, genius is common. I'll see you on the other side.
Wonderful. Thanks again. Well, good evening, Black Business Network. I'm Dr. Stephanie Ardrey, and it's my pleasure to be here again with you. Today, we are going to have an exciting panel discussion. We're talking about health and wealth. I have 2 of the baddest brothers ready to jump in on this conversation. First, let me set it up and tell you a little bit about them. We're joined today by Dr. Aubrey Oliver, who is the global house call doctor, is probably the best way to describe him. He has a network of patients spanning the UK, the USA, Canada, the Caribbean, you name it. Doc is the doc that responds to a house call. And he is recognized as a functional or lifestyle physician. So his aim is not at maintaining sick care, but getting to root causes and hopefully even being on the side of preventative care so that you don't even have a reason to be sick. So Dr. Oliver is going to be part of the conversation today. And then the other part is that I was also able to get Master Chef Keedy. Master Chef Keedy is known as really a multi-genius, having published his 50th book, which came out yesterday. He'll talk about his most recent book when we talk about some of the issues that people are experiencing. And as soon as my brothers are both on the screen, then I'll kind of tell you, of course, we had the politically correct title, and then I'm going to tell you the, just let's get straight to it kind of title. So where is Chef? Hey,
Chef
Doc.
Keedy?
Where is Chef?
Well, I'm here.
Okay, all right.
Chef, where are you?
So hopefully Chef will be joining us soon. But anyway.
Yeah, I think the master controller need to bring him in, right?
Yes, absolutely. But
Well,
so Doc, thanks for joining this conversation today. I know it'll be a blessing for anyone who has an opportunity to hear. What I said to Chef Keedy was, I wanted to say to some of my sisters in particular, girlfriend, you're already sick AF, right, is what I really wanted to say. And here's the reason why. You're the number one in terms of heart disease, cancer, strokes, diabetes, Alzheimer's. And the reasons are because of your high blood pressure and heart disease, which are lifestyle conditions. So in laying that, foundation, Doc, we want to talk about, how is it that people could not be aware of their wellness realities?
Well, you have to understand what took place over the last 50 years. Just let's go back 50 years. Our grandparents and ancestors were eating similar foods. They were eating similar foods, almost, basically the kind of grains that the standard American diet says. So they were eating that, and these were made by decisions of administrators at the FDA and CDC and stuff like that. These are not, a lot of these things weren't even brought on by scientists. It's just brought on by food companies and who were more influential. So the SAD diet, the standard American diet, and I'm not making a mistake. I have to, because that's what that's the abbreviation, SAD, SAD diet. So SAD, standard American diet. And, just the word SAD, standard, diet, has to do with, what's the first three letters in diet, D-I-E. So we don't even use that anymore. But if you looked over the last 50 years, they set a standard where grains and all these processed things, you would say today, would fall underneath that precept. So basically, that was the biggest part of they said for your meal, for energy, and so you can go. So people get up in the morning and they'll have a big bowl of cereal with milk. I was a part of that. In New York, the quickest thing to grab when I go to the supermarket, when I grew up in New York, I'm reading the boxes of the cereal and I'm seeing which one have the most nutrients, just to find out that a lot of that was just processed stuff, had no real meaning because they were synthetic vitamins. They probably did more damage. And so a lot of our women who are busy on the run and they holding down the family, they just went along with what they were told over the last 50 years. And the more these food companies take over in their mafia style, along with the pharmaceutical company, it's the more garbage they put into these so-called foods. They're not. We can't even call them food because they're not really making any contribution to your nutrition or your nourishment. We used to say, right? So this was taking place for a while, and in the supermarkets and a lot of the Black communities, they basically force a lot of processed food onto the public, there, and they advertise heavily, because I was a part of that again. I mean, always want to try the newest thing that I see advertised, that they say low fat and all these other things. And I was at 30 something, I was like, I'm getting a pot belly. I'm looking like my father, because my grandfather looked better than me. I was looking like my father, and I'm like, I'm only 30, because even though I thought I was eating healthy, I just was just blowing up. My metabolism was slowing down. I was getting, knee pain in my knees and all these things. So what, is happening to our women, it's similar. It's just that a lot of them don't have time to really do what I did. I was lecturing. I was supposed to go back to do a doctorate, so I get my my professorship in Jamaica, and I saw a doctorate program in alternative medicine. So I jumped for that. And in doing that in the last 15 years, I've just been studying, and, just coming to conclusion what we need for good health and longevity. So it's behooves it not to really blame anyone for what they are going through, but people like myself and Kitty is here to educate people, to let them understand they can reverse these damages. And it's never too late. That's a good thing about it. It's never too late to start and understand nutrition, start and understand what food is supposed to be about. Food is your medicine is your food. We don't eat like that. We eat for our taste buds and our gut bacteria. That's what most of us eat for. We're like two legs of a whole host of bacteria and parasite, and Kitty will give you more detail on some of these scientific things later on. But that's what we are. We're just walking bacteria. So a lot of time when we're eating, our stomach is our second brain. It dictates to the top brain what it wants to eat if we put it in practice over time. So as I said, our grandparents used to eat the same things, but guess what? Right now, what we used to eat in sugar 50 years ago, do you realize we used to eat about 5 to 10 pounds of sugar a year 50 years ago? Can you guess how much pounds of sugar we're eating today in all the food content and all the things?
Oh, I think it's hundreds of pounds or something. It's
over 100 pounds.
Yeah.
We're going from 5 pounds in just basic food, bread and all those things, processed stuff, the so-called processed stuff our grandparents used to have 50 years ago, crackers and those things. So today we're eating 10 times, 20 times the amount of sugar. The biggest problem today with our Black women is insulin resistance. And because of insulin resistance, it comes into play through fatty liver and that big gut that you see there. A lot of us, well, I'm not anymore, but a lot of them walking around with. I got rid of my gut because I made it my duty that I was going to do that. And I remember when I was in high school and used to see, our teachers or elders, I would see them with those little legs and a pudge gut. I've always told myself, I do not want to look like that. So I want to make it my effort to keep at least my legs, some muscles on them, and my gut down, So all of that is a sign of insulin resistance. Before, when we're younger, 40 years ago, and we see people like that, a lot of them were because of alcoholism. So you see where their legs start shrinking up. I remember in Jamaica seeing these men, they drink so much that they have a pudge belly and little legs, and we knew that they had liver issues. But today, it has nothing to do with alcohol. Most of it is through just poor eating habits. And that's what I'm here to do, and that's what I'm here to change and help my brothers and sisters advance in a healthy way, because the goal is to live a long, happy, prosperous life to the ages of 120 and beyond, because the body is designed for that. Especially Black people, our bodies are designed to go a long time. So it's not like it's not part of our DNA. It's a part of our DNA, but because of enslavement they started giving us some of the worst foods and other things over the years, where they deprive us of our 40 acres and a mule, because we could have done so much if we just get that. Our ancestors would be able to grow our own good food, but they never gave us that. They rob it, they steal it. A lot of it is underwater right now. So if we can just understand that it's about diet and get back into live it, then we can make this happen.
Well, thank you. That's a perfect place for us to bring in Master Chef Keity. Hey, Keity, how you doing?
What a joy. What a joy it is to be with you today, to be with the Black Expo and this Black Business Olympics. This is a great day to be in this forum. Thank you for the invitation.
Of course. And it's timely, as I don't know if you heard what I mentioned. You just published your 50th book that came out yesterday. So we definitely want to touch on that book, because the topic is definitely relevant to this particular conversation.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
But I think I said to you, and you said that you and Doc, I said I would be bad cop, because I kind of mentioned to you my frustration in having a conversation where really what I wanted to say at the end of the conversation was, girlfriend, you already sick, as you just don't know it, right? And you were like, no, we'll be the good cops and we'll set up, the environment to have that conversation nicely. And I'm saying, yes, I want my sisters to survive. This is not about body shaming. This is not about making you feel bad. This is about saying, guess what? I'm seeing the statistics out here. I'm having the conversations with my friends. I'm seeing the posts that, this sister's in the hospital, this one died, this one's struggling with it. I'm seeing the flights, traveling through the airport. I walked on 7 Mile Beach 4 weeks ago, and I'm telling you, there was not a person on this beach that had showed up. Most of them could barely walk. They were on walkers and canes. And I was like, there had to be a good 200 people. And out of that 200 people, if I could have said 10 of them looked like they were healthy, that probably would have been a stretch. So that says to me, there's a serious issue. And, we can't create generational wealth if by the time you get halfway down your career, you're sick and you're taking 50 medications. That will wipe out your wealth. One good hospitalization, that will wipe out your wealth. So you've got to take care of your health, and you must take a preventative stance. So anyway, with that, Chef, foundation for, what we hoped to begin as the conversation. So I'll let you kind of weigh in of the new book and also your thought about this particular conversation.
Hello.
Again, it is a pleasure to be in the presence of so many people who are entrepreneurs, successful businesswomen, businessmen. And we do have a very important message to convey. It's often been said that there are many of us who spend a lifetime expending our health to gain wealth, only to find the equation flip in our later years. So we spend all of our wealth trying to regain our health. I believe there should be a balance there. I'm committed to maintaining optimized health throughout the entirety of my journey. In fact, I actually believe it does contribute to no small extent to the prosperity that I will receive in the world. The perspective I am coming from is based upon the foundation that food is nature's most perfect medicine. I work as a clinical nutrition. I'm with clients nearly every day. And what I often find is a lot of us just don't know what comprises optimal nutrition. And we are unaware of what nutrition and what food sources are appropriate for our physiological being, our phenotype. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So that's where we're coming from today. As you said, we're not here to body shame. We're not here to put anybody down. We're here to lift everyone up to the very best of our abilities. So I'm just going to make 3 brief points, and then we'll move forward. The first point is, I'm going to repeat, Food is nature's most perfect medicine. When I'm talking to a client that's suffering from multiple disorders, one of the first things I find out is their doctor has not been telling them the truth. In fact, when I look at the disorders that you are defining to me, explaining to me, your doctor should have told you at a certain point you have metabolic syndrome. And if the doctor is not telling them that they have this collection of disorders, diseases that mean it's a syndrome, then they can't tell you or won't tell you how it is expected that syndrome will proceed if you do not correct the underlying pathogenic factors that are making you sick and keeping you sick. No matter how many medications they put you on, you're still in the same creation of disorder that causes disease, that brings us symptoms for which their drugs at best can only suppress the symptoms. Point number 2 I want to make is that the best way to deal with a problem is not to correct that problem, but to prevent that problem. Too many of us wait far too long during the stages of disease and disorder before we realize this is out of my control. I'm going to need help. Then the problem arises that those we go to for help, we're not necessarily realizing that they have an underlying motive to keep us just healthy enough to keep paying the bills, to keep paying the expenses. In fact, if they can relieve the symptoms to a point with drugs, they're going to do so. But the problem is, the longer you take these drugs, the more likely it is that the drugs will cause side effects. I don't call them side effects. I call them direct effects because it's so predictable that it's going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. The third point I want to make is that we have the power within our hands. We've been given a broad set of talents and gifts. We as Black people, African people in the United States are not a poor people. We're spending annually $1.6 trillion as consumers in this country. The problem is with that, it's not balanced out with a level of productivity. Some 3 million Black-owned businesses are only producing about $200 billion worth of products and services. So essentially, we're spending $8 while producing $1 worth of goods and services. And especially when we talk about the critical areas of investment in food, housing, transportation, and in healthcare. So at current, Black people in America are spending over $95.1 billion a year on health care services and investments, insurance, et cetera, yet we're still getting sicker relevant to other groups within this country. So that's why it's so very important as we come together to build Black businesses, build Black entrepreneurship, and especially in the next generation, as is the focus of this organization, we're going to do a better job of reminding our people that the primary wealth in life is health. In fact, that's one of the shortest poems most of us all know about. Health is wealth. So I want to thank you for this opportunity to come in here and make these expressions. As you mentioned, I was very fortunate this week to have published my 50th book. Now, that's no small trait. This is actually my 7th book published for this year alone. And so I have another one coming out in about another week. And these are not small books. These are science books, database and analytical books, but they're designed to give us a strong pathway forward. Once we know where we want to go, then we want to find the shortest route for getting from where we are to where we intend to be. And of course, we do not wish to leave our children behind on this magnificent journey we call life.
Real quick, Katie, I see, the book, you bring it up briefly. Let me see the topic.
Yeah, the book is called Miracle on 2 Feet, Stroke Prevention and Recovery. Now, this is a very powerful book.
Which group of people having that issue the most?
Well, in the world, stroke is the second leading cause of death.
Exactly.
In the United States, unfortunately, like cardiovascular disease, like early death from cancer, like metabolic syndrome disorders, African American people are disproportionately affected by these syndromes. And they're robbing us out of our daily adjusted life years. We want to get our life back. So we have to have a plan, a strategic plan, a strategy for preventing stroke from sneaking us and robbing us out of our life.
I need a copy of that book, because with my hectic lifestyle, people don't realize no matter how you could be eating healthy and doing all the right things, and a stroke can just come on you like that, because there's another thing that a lot of us don't tend to want to understand. Stress is 60% of those diseases.
That's
60 to
absolutely
70%.
right. And
So
because we have such a high representation of hypertension among Black people in this society, we're going to
Right.
have to address the stress, and especially if that stress significantly increases the likelihood of being debilitated by a stroke, we know we've got work to do. The sooner we commit to this work, the better off we will be in the long run.
And I know your book gives a play-by-play. Go ahead, Steph.
Dr. Audrey, you were saying?
Your book given play-by-play. Your book is given a play-by-play how to deal with this.
Yeah. The book covers it all, 360 degrees, but the highlight of the book to me is 64 strategies that you can do on a daily basis, become new life wellness habits. These 64 strategies are intended to not only prevent stroke, but also prevent many cardiovascular diseases and significantly lower one's risk of cancer, diabetes, hypertension, and all the other metabolic syndrome diseases.
Awesome. Steph?
And it's about timing, because again, if we know that stress is a contributor to where disease begins to manifest in any part of our bodies, it's about recognizing when it is you find yourself in situations that are requiring you to exude or endure a higher level of stress. You know, as you said that, I was thinking about how I remember right like it happened yesterday when my mother died, and how stressful that situation was for me. But I also remember making a deliberate decision that I was going to work out at the gym to work off the anger and the extra energy, the cortisol, right? I was going to find a way to run it out, to get it out of my body so that it wouldn't just set up in my system and create disease.
Right.
That was a very deliberate, decision, because I knew that otherwise, if I sat there and just consumed the stress and, took on depression or whatever else, right? If I just sat there in it, that I was going to potentially become ill. And I didn't think that it made sense that her death should cause me to be ill. I had to find a way to be well in spite of that, so that
there's two kinds of stress that you deal with. You have the regular, the stress, and then you have the eustress. And you were doing the eustress to counter the stress.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to go about it. Exercise and those things are eustress, but your body need those stress.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
And so, Keedy, you were talking about the book, and we were talking about these particular ailments. What are some of the things that you'd say are kind of, basic, that people may not even consider are things that they could be doing that would begin to create better wellness outcomes versus what they might be doing? Share a couple of tips.
Among the many things we can do is, you talked about stress, and there are many stress beating strategies that I list in the book, such as daily meditation, that quiet moment in the afternoon where you just like chill out, maybe soak up a little sun. Deep breathing exercises can go all day long. And in fact, when we find ourselves in a particularly stressful moment, just step back and focus only on the breath. A 5 count or 7 count block breath gives you a good chance to de-stress. And literally, breathing exercises have been shown to lower your systolic blood pressure by as much as 30 to 40 points within 10 minutes, as you just practice and do it right. I recently got myself a blood pressure cuff, and I'll cuff myself every day. Most people don't realize when you go to see your medical professional and they give you that cuff, quite often the first reading is going to be abnormally high. But most people don't know you don't ask your doctor to cuff me 5 times in a row while I'm breathing and let me show you what my true blood pressure is.
Exactly. And that's true. I mean, I've learned that, you cannot just take one blood pressure. I get patients, and a lot of them just coming to see me, their anxiety is up.
That's
So as
right.
soon as you take their first blood pressure, you're like, you draw back and say, wow, that's kind of high. But in your head, you say it. And I say to them, don't worry. I know you didn't want to be here and, you know, you were concerned about being here. That's why it's high. So I wait 5 to 10 minutes. I take the second one. And you'll see it will go down. And if there's still a problem, I let them do a breathing exercise. I spend time with my patients. I don't believe in what they are doing now with these GPs where you're, 10 minutes to 15 minutes, you got to be in and out.
That's
No,
right.
I don't let them go until I see everything look somewhat normal. I mean, of course they can because they're sick and other issues that are going on, but at least their blood pressure. Let's get it to somewhere where we can say, I feel safe for you to leave instead of calling the ambulance. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's one of the problems you mentioned, Kitty.
Well, I just want to share a couple more points here before we have to run. These are strategies, 64 of these on the list, such as most of us are dehydrated to some state. Dehydration definitely thickens the blood and increases blood pressure and also increases the likelihood of cerebrovascular accident, a ruptured aorta, pulmonary embolism, other signs that could be stroke or stroke-related disorders. Most of us living in America are sleep deprived. In fact, I find that's one of the most common ailments and disorders amongst the clients that I serve. They want to eat better. Many of them are doing their exercises and all, but they're sleep deprived. They're staying up way too late, attached to social media. The blue light on the electronics that we're staying up to very, very late at night interrupts the functioning of the pineal gland, which is to regulate our circadian rhythm and get us in and out of our days so that the sleep cycle, where our body is repairing its 18 systems, the sleep cycle gets all of the resilience and recovery and vitality out of it that we absolutely want. And the last thing I'm going to say is towards resisting hypertension and stroke-related accidents from hypertension, learn to laugh, learn to smile. Learn to celebrate the joy of children's laughter. Look out your window and instead of seeing people and pointing at the people and say, oh, well, that person's too fat, that person's got blue hair, that person is somehow inferior to my ideal of what a perfect person would be, reverse that and say, if I'm finding fault in everyone else, it must be true that the fault is within me. So don't worry, be happy. Celebrate life every day.
Yes, I'm second in that one. And it's also how you deal with, people on a day-to-day basis. Just deal with them with love and knowledge, man. It's all about love and knowledge. You're there to learn something from them. And at the same time, show them some love,
Absolutely. And so it's funny that, I love this idea about coming back to the conversation around love. As you both know, you're both participants in this new adventure of healing homes, where it is we're working in prep for the Naked with Dr. Money tour, self-love tour, where we're just doing that, helping people find their way back to self-love, starting with forgiveness, but more importantly, just recognizing what love looks like and how you can bring it into your everyday by setting the intention and realizing that what you're experiencing is what you created. So it's really your thoughts. You're getting what you expect to get. So if you change your expectations, then you'll change what you're experiencing as it relates to those outcomes. It's not just as passive as many people think. We're not just automatically walking through, as I said, another Groundhog Day. It doesn't have to be another Groundhog Day. Set a new intention.
Exactly.
So you can have another set of experiences.
Kitty, did you tell them how they could get your book? Because I think I want to get one because that's a very important book.
Well, thank you very much. I have a large collection of books on Amazon.com. I think this is probably number 44. And I've actually been updating my website now to include the new books. I have this one. I have another one coming out 7 days after this one. So we are on a roll. My name, Keidi, K-E-I-D-I, is quite unique. Go to keidi.biz and you will see my collection of books. And we're doing the best we can to do the best we can to do so well at doing our best that others are inspired. They look at us and they say, I want to replicate what you are doing, and I want to replicate your successes as well.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And I know the topic today, basically, with what we're doing here with the health, is that it doesn't matter what age you are. All of these diseases can be reversed. I just want to encourage, because some people tend to want to give up when they get to a certain age and they just want to rely on the medication. And the medication, they're just band-aids on symptoms. So I think the goal is, no matter what age you are. I remember in Jamaica, when I first got there, I say I was lecturing, and then I went back and I did the doctorate, and I set up practice, but I was still working with the university with the athletes. And I was having a problem, the athletes, they were, I see where I was using energy medicine therapy on them, which is, using bioenergetics to reverse cell damage. Some of them were Olympians, are still Olympians today. I've gotten their gold medals since I've treated them. But the damages of the cell can easily be reversed based on applying certain type of energy, including magneto, ultrasound, those kind of things help repair cells. Of course, what Kitty said earlier, your cells only get healed through sleeping. That's the time when so I just apply a modem, a mechanism to when you're sleeping to help speed up that healing. But I remember I stepped out of the university, and I was invited by a doctor to Portland to see a bunch of her patients because she heard about what I was doing. And when I got there, they were all elders. They were like patients all retired from either the United States, Canada, and especially UK. And I met one who was a retired nurse. She was 90 years old, and everybody is like, they just sent her home from the hospital because she hadn't been to the bathroom. She hadn't been able to pass feces for 21 days at this point. So the families are coming in and, wishing her adieu and stuff. And the first thing I did that I realized was her problem was that she's clogged up. Of course, 21 days, you must be clogged. Something is clogging you. So I gave her one of my, little thing that natural cleanse that you only use once in a while when it's really, because it's so potent. But she went to the bathroom for about 4 or 5 days in straight, just going. And I started using the regeneration cell therapy on her. And at the end of about 3-4 months of therapy, the helpers, everybody around her family said to me, she is stronger than ever. And then that's when I realized, no matter what age you are, if you start regenerating cells, stem cells activation and regenerating cells, your body can actually start, restoring itself to some of your best health. That woman ended up living to about 100 years old. The whole time I'm there in Portland in my practice, she was alive. I go and see her all the time over the 10 years I was there before the pandemic started. So I'm just giving this story because it doesn't matter what age you are. Just get on a routine. Get books like what Kitty have ready for you and get on a routine. Get on a regiment, I should say. Get on a regiment. Get some discipline. Yeah.
But also, Doc, I have a follow-up question for you because someone was asking me about the cell regeneration. And what I was explaining to them is that, there's a lot of conversation about stem cells and all of this stuff, but basically your approach is non-invasive. So maybe if you could speak a little bit to that, just so that there's no confusion.
Yeah.
You're
right. I don't, I'm along with, as dumb as Bush was, President Bush, and banning experiment, what do you call it, like research and stuff with using embryo stem cells and I guess baby fetus stem cells. Is that what they were doing, Kitty, when they were coming up with that science? They were using
the use of embryonic stem cells from other people's babies and other things. It's still going on.
Yeah, but I think
not necessarily copacetic.
They banned, Bush had banned it at that time in the States. So a lot of people had to go overseas. So, but what I found out later on as I was studying, of course, as adults, all of us have stem cells, a large amount of stem cells. So we don't need to get stem cell injected. And it's so funny because when I was in Jamaica, I remember a patient came to me and she was getting my therapy, but because she was in England and at the time the therapy wasn't there, she went back to England and she decided to take injection therapy. Stem cell. Have some stem cells injected into where the tumor was. And that thing spreaded the tumor, just advanced the tumor so fast that within no time, I got word from her family that she passed on. But she was doing so well when we were doing just from the outside, just activating her stem cell, using the energy, putting it in the areas around the around your chest area where or your shank, where the bones, where there's a lot of stem cells in those bones. And I see it with people with kidney issues. I've seen it with people with diabetic issues where their kidneys are failing, and it reverses those diseases because you activate the stem cell in the body, and the stem cells are very intelligent. They go where they're needed once they're activated. And I never had to do anything invasive. Just apply a cold, what we call MIL, magnetic infrared laser, which is a cold laser, and along with speeding up with ultrasound. With Keith and I talked about ultrasound the other day. Ultrasound helps speed up the vibration of the cells to just get them moving. And stem cells, sometimes they're just stagnant in the bone cells. And so you get them activated. You basically use certain type of impetus. And one of them was magnetic infrared laser combined with ultrasound and LED lights, because energy, all cells are energy. All cells has, neutron, proton, electrons, and so they can be they're you have 40 trillion of them in your body, but unfortunately we have about 3 times that amount in bacteria and parasites and other small what we call those other ones. Kitty, help me out here with the science.
Well, we're talking about gut flora, gut bacteria. We have some 100 trillion that occupy our body, but there are also a number of other microorganisms, including
microorganisms, the other names for those small ones.
That's right.
So basically, so it's, one of the things I learned from Kitty just this week, one cell in our body is as complex as an AMG Mercedes-Benz, some of the newest ones they have that Hamilton himself drive. And you know how sophisticated those Mercedes-Benz are. But one of our cells is as intricate as that. It's more complex, I should say, than a whole Mercedes-Benz. And I found that out by just specializing these past 10 years, 15 years in cell regeneration therapy to understand. But once you start regenerating cells in the body through nutrition, through energy application, you can go very far. I mean, I'm now 30 years later, I'm sprinting like I am when I was 20 years old because of my cell regeneration therapy on my own self,
Yeah. And that's part of, what this conversation and all of it is about, not only, preaching, but practicing what it is we preach. And so I think that it was really important. We're coming up on the top of the hour, so we might be about to conclude pretty soon. But I just, kind of in a final thought, if we were speaking to someone, if we're speaking to, our sisters, our mother, our aunties, our cousins, those of us out there representing the African diaspora, knowing that in many cases, not necessarily all, but in too many cases, they may be disproportionately suffering from high stress, or, what I say is we have an environment where the world is suffering from a level of post-traumatic stress disorder from the global pandemic, or plandemic, whichever way you want to look at it. But that thing has caused people to be traumatized. And there hasn't been necessarily a place to go to release all of that trauma. So if you haven't released that trauma, chances are you want to investigate and make sure that your markers haven't changed. So, Doc, if you were telling someone to get a quick assessment, what would be, a quick and dirty kind of assessment that they might be able to take on to get an understanding, a panel of what's happening within their body from a preventative standpoint?
Well, recently in my office in London, we just take on something called the e-wellness. It's a device from out of, it's also almost with, and it works with magnetic resonance, almost like EKG with, what it does for the heart. It does for all 40. Yes.
We're going to run out of time. So here's what I want everyone to do. please give us your website. Let's start out with Chef Kitty.
Go ahead,
All right.
Kitty.
I want to thank you all for the opportunity today. Do check out my books. You can see me on Amazon, KEIDIAWADU. I'm easy to find. Or go to kitty.biz. Look for this new book. I think every household should have it as a preventative and what to do in the event of a stroke. It's called Miracle on 2 Feet, Stroke Prevention and Recovery. Thanks for the opportunity.
Dr. Oliver?
Yes. Go to Dr. Oliver Life at Instagram and just send me information, a message. Dr. Oliver Life on Instagram, DROLIVERLIFE on Instagram. My page should be up soon, droliver.life. So we're working on that, in progress. But basically, if you need to get me also, you can send me a WhatsApp. It's 44, which is a UK number, 44 777 679 4360. Again, 44 777, that's 777 679 4360.
And for information about our wellness resorts and other things, you can go to www.420wellnessjamaica.com. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side.
All right. I think we have 3 minutes, isn't it?
I don't know where our host went. Or
but real quick before he comes back, I think the question you were asking me.
Hang on, we're going to run out of time. So, Dr. Ardrey, did you give your information?
I sure did.
Yes.
Listen, I want to thank you all for being here on this panel. We let it run to get all this information because it's so important. And so I want to thank you again. I sat here and listened to this whole thing. So we're all going to contact you. And thank you for being here.
You're welcome, my brother.
Thank you for having us. It was our pleasure.
Thank you. So as we say, and we mean it, genius is coming. And I'll see you on the other side.
All right, my brother.
Thank you.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo. one of the largest business showcases in the history of black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.